Do, 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 do. I had a follow
Hello,
from TK
everyone.
Maxx whilst I was offline.
What did you have? Sorry?
A follow from TK Maxx, the British store line.
What do they sell?
Everything. Oh my gosh, TK
Oh,
Maxx is just a nightmare.
hence Max. You know, we maximize our what's the sort? In Swedish, it's sortiment.
Assortment.
I guess. I'm thinking of like their stock, their lineup, their the list of total stuff they sell.
They tend to sell. So you go in. TK Maxx's are. Oh yeah, hello everyone. By the way.
Yeah, hello, hi. Hello, hi.
Do I have a Jerry? Oh, Jerry's very hidden at the moment. TK Maxx, you'll go in and there'll be like an entire shop full of rows of clothes. Then there'll be a section for shoes. Then there'll be usually like a handbag section, but then there'll also be like a weird furniture section and loads of they just go on for miles. And you just, as soon as you go into one, like they have a feeling of them that it's going to be really cheap, and like they feel a bit like a massive charity shop, and you're like, oh, I can get some bargains. And then anytime you find something you like, it's like really expensive. I never really buy anything from them. But I like to look sometimes.
Well, I mean, that's something.
But they're too big, and I don't think they ever have toilets in, but something about being in them makes you feel like you're going to need the toilet. So I tend to just walk in and then leave without getting anything. They're weird.
Is that okay? Is that allowed? Are you allowed to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think you are, but like they probably frown. It's probably frowned upon.
It.
Yeah. Yes, Sapphire, that would be lovely. Sapphire is going to give us a list of who voiced who, so that we can remember.
Nice. Yes. Stardew tomorrow.
Yes. Ho, 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 ho.
I can't remember anything I was doing because it's 2 weeks away.
It is, yeah.
But it's easy enough to. There'll probably be that first day of just confusion, wandering around, thinking, "Oh, I should go to the mines."
I need access to the documents. Yeah, it's gonna be the first day is always a bit of a write-off, honestly.
Yeah.
But I think we'll be okay. I think there'll be enough to do. Oh, first we're gonna strawberries. I think the strawberries are gonna grow. So first day we'll be picking up strawberries.
That was it. We all had strawberries.
Yeah, which means money. Okay. Here we go. The Ruinosuke, aka RuneScape, is me. I was also Susato's dad. You were Susato.
Yes.
You were also the bailiff. And you were
every
Hosoki.
Cockney.
Yeah, every Cockney. I was the judge. I was the witness, Nosa. And I was Mistress Elbrett. Aw. I hope she's back. I liked her.
We spent the entire first story being like, she'll come back.
Yeah, and then she never came back. Yeah. In episode 2, I think there wasn't as many characters except the ones that already existed. But you were Herlock.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's too much otherwise for me to be Herlock as well. Oh yeah. I was Strongheart, McGilded, the judge, and we usually alternate like the jurors and stuff. I was Bruce Lady first. You were Van Zeeks, of course, and more bailiffs.
Yes.
And Gina Lestrade. And Iris. You were the maid. I was Mr. John Garrideb. You were Joan Garrideb.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And there's Rowley. Rowley and Patricia Beat. That's Rowley. I'm getting good flashbacks now.
I wonder if it's gonna be the same people on the jury, or if it's gonna be, because it tended to. There was a lot of like in how do you say it? I guess is it nepotism?
Yes,
Who was on the
yeah,
jury? It just seemed to
very
be
much.
who
Keeping
they
the
knew.
same people. It's a lot of that, absolutely. I was Winterbank.
As long as you weren't
I
found
was
guilty.
Benedict. I was Benedict.
Oh, ex-Benedict.
Or
God,
Ashley
yeah.
Graydon, as his real name was. You were. He's listed here as one of the Briony's voices. The boat. Because it said honk and you said honk.
Honk.
Nice. Oh yeah, and you were Ringo and I was Nash. Anyway, yeah, okay. Cool. I think we're mostly clear on who's who.
Yeah.
Alright. This there's me as Iris. That's not true. Briony was Iris, but she was always Iris. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Very similar to Susato.
Yes. Well, not really. I hear a difference, at least, in your voice. Susato is more normal Briony voice, while Iris is like chipper child voice, usually.
That's true.
Yeah. I took over at one point briefly. Oh man, we were crazy just swapping up voices like that. Like at some point I was Herlock for a little bit, you know?
Yeah, it was just whoever didn't. If one of us had all the voices.
Yeah,
sort
at
of
one
thing.
point there was a scene where there was like 4 person that one voiced, so yeah. I've been nibbling on an apple, which I'm sure some people have heard. I'm sorry about that. But we are about to go. As soon as I ask Briony, how have you been?
I've been okay.
Yeah?
What have I been doing since last Thursday? I went out last night. We went like out, which we hadn't done in a while.
Mm-hmm.
We
Where'd you go? Anything exciting?
Went to Bristol Museum at night to see a.
I've seen a movie about that. Night at the museum.
Everything came to life. It was really weird.
yeah, exactly.
We went to see. There's a pianist called Ludovico Einaudi, and it was a tribute to his music. So it was a different person playing it, but and it was all like.
Is he still alive? That person? Because then it's weird.
He is still alive.
Okay, well then it is weird.
But I think it's just that he's probably more expensive.
I see.
Getting the real guy.
I see.
Over from Italy.
Yeah, I do the same sometimes. You know, people like I make a stream and I'm like, this is a Sips tribute stream, and I just do stuff like Sips does, you know, because Sips is too big deal to get to, so they get me instead. Budget Sips is what they get. Yeah.
I believe that's called a cover band. Yeah, it was a cover pianist.
A cover pianist. Yeah, exactly.
It was quite funny. We had dinner in the office just before going out because Alex had been working in the office in the day, and Tom and Ben were streaming, and they came out on the break whilst we were sat there, and Ben came over and he was like, oh, what are you guys in for? And Alex was like, oh, we're gonna go see this there's this like pianist that we both like, and the double take that Ben did of like, there's a what? And he was like, pianist.
Yeah.
It's like, oh. So I'm trying to pronounce it very carefully.
Yeah. I mean, there was already comments in my chat, so. Well, the thing that's why I always say piano man, or piano woman, for that matter.
Piano man.
Because then people aren't going to be, you know, you're not going to hear a joke about the guy who wished for a 12-inch pianist, you know? Like, you're going to have, you get less confusion in that way. So.
I've seen the real guy.
Ludovici guy?
Yeah, we went to see him in Oxford years ago. And he was like, there's the guy who we saw last night. He was very talented, but it wasn't the same.
He was no Ludovici, if I'm saying that.
Yeah, the passion wasn't the same. I think it sounds. Yeah. It sounds. I don't want to sound like snobbish, but it just there were times when I was just like, I'm in no way musical, but there were times when I was just like, oh no, didn't quite get that.
Well,
but it didn't help.
Piano is hard.
There was like these 3 ladies in front of us who were just taking pictures the whole time and it wasn't tiered at all, so we couldn't actually really see the
Oh,
guy
they're
at all.
holding up the.
And then they started just taking selfies and stuff, and I was just like,
Oh,
really? Do you want?
time and
But
place.
my
come on.
favorite thing about it was there were two people sat behind us who had turned up separately, and I got to hear the beginnings of what I think was a nice friendship. They ended up going out for a drink afterwards.
Oh, lovely.
It was very sweet. They at the end they like took a selfie together in front of all the candles and the piano, and I was just like, oh.
That's
But they were
great.
just sort of like, oh, are you here on your own? And they were like, yeah, I never really see other people go on their own to these things. They
Oh,
were like,
wow.
where'd you live? Where'd you come from? All of this stuff. It was really cute.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
What if they get married and they're like together forever? And you
I
were
was
there when
at
it
the
started.
beginning.
Yeah.
I witnessed it from, well, they were behind me, so I witnessed it.
Yeah. It's closest to witness as you can get, really.
Yeah. But it was very
But that's
sweet.
so that's you have like a positive experience with people there and a negative experience with people there. So I guess it sort of balances out a little
This is
bit.
the thing. One of the people who kept taking photos at one point, they then dropped their phone, and it like hit. Ayanadi's music is very like a gentle, calm piano. So to just hear this, like obviously it's a museum, so it's a proper stone floor.
Oh my
dropping
god.
a phone onto it, it was just. Ooh.
Everyone turns to look. You're just like, sorry. I was taking selfies. Like,
And then like one of her friends had this big rustly coat, and she kept wriggling around, and I could just hear like,
God.
shh, 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 shh.
Oh my god.
But other than them, it was
Other than them, people were nice. I don't know. This thing of people always taking pictures like all the time is maddening to me. Enjoy the moment. Or do you think really what you're gonna want after an experience like that is to only remember like everything like this? Like this is how you remember. You don't see what I'm doing, but I'm holding up my phone like this, right?
Yeah.
This is going to be your memory of the thing. And then like, oh yeah, I'm glad I took 100 pictures. Like, by all means, take one picture when you get there and like maybe one small picture like in a decent moment to like, oh yeah, that concert I went on. You don't need 40 pictures per song.
Well,
Like-
this was the thing. Like at the end, once he'd packed up and everyone was leaving, Alex and I like snuck over and took a picture in front of the candles, and
Yeah.
that was it.
Exactly.
But I then got really paranoid because I'd worn my mask the entire time,
Mhm.
popped it off for like 2 seconds to take a picture, and then I popped it back on. But then I put it on Instagram, and I was like, should I tell everyone?
People
that I
are
had my
gonna
mask
be
on
like, oh,
before
she
and
didn't
after?"
wear a mask.
And
Oh,
then-
she's
but-
one of those non-maskers.
I literally like as soon my mum liked it, and I was just there like I should call my mum and tell her I was wearing my mask.
Yeah, mom, don't worry, mom.
I
Don't worry,
know,
mom.
Mom,
I was mask.
I
I was mask, mom.
did.
Don't worry. Yeah.
Dear, oh dear.
I haven't been to a museum or a music concert. I've been at home playing video games, man. So at the moment, there's basically 3 video games going strong on the Discord. It's Mario Kart, because everyone's into Mario Kart now. Like, when we're not discussing other people's runs, we're like showing each other like cool tricks and stuff, and like, here's how I run Toad's Turnpike and stuff.
Oh my God.
And everyone's like, when are you running next? Oh, I don't know. Like, I was tempted to literally run yesterday, just because I was like, I don't know when I'm next gonna be able to make a run, because I don't want to wait too long, because I've got to stream like this today and Stardew tomorrow, and I'm usually busy on the weekends, and I don't stream on the weekend, so but yeah, anyway. And aside from that,
I like
it's
the meme guy when he's like scratching his neck and he's like,
yeah,
you got any more of that Mario Kart?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Other than that, of course, is Dota 2. Lots of Dota 2 every night. Every night Dota 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I lost a lot of games recently, Briony. It sucks. It's a lot of losing.
I'm getting the feeling there's still Final Fantasy, because Kirsty's in chat saying, I'd like to sue Final Fantasy 14 for not giving me a house.
Yes, well, that's game number 3. It's still a lot of Final Fantasy. And poor Kirsty, she's been losing her mind. She's been trying to get a house, and it's not gone well multiple times. I've heard the little hope in her voice be crushed multiple times now.
She says,
It's
I
sad.
fell asleep in the Discord call last night. Were you trying to get a house?
Yeah. Yeah.
Come over to Twintania. We've got a house sitting empty because we
Oh.
don't play it anymore.
What are you talking about? People are leaving Twintania in droves, Briony. Nina's with us now. Alice is with us now. It's about time you
Yeah.
all come join us now.
Everyone else just like literally as soon as they finished Endwalker, it was like they tossed it aside and forgot
Yeah.
it ever existed. And then there's
Yeah.
poor Nina just
Nina
like
and Alice still
"I
like, I
wanna
really want to play. Yeah, exactly.
Alice literally was like taking photos in our house just on her own, sat on the floor, just like, bye everyone.
But it's been a while, you know? Yeah. No, it's... You have to come chill with us now. This is where things happen. But even then, I mean, half the people there haven't even started Endwalker. That's what's crazy to me. As much as they've enjoyed all the previous, they're just like, well, I took a break after Shadowbringers, so I haven't started yet. Like, you haven't even started? It's so good! Endwalker's so good, and they haven't even started it. Like, Bree and Silas and stuff. Ravs is like, you know, I've done like the first dungeon, second dungeon too, I think, and that's about it, right? Nilesy is third of the way, like 2/3 of the way through or something. But like Bree and Silas haven't even started. Duncan hasn't like finished like 10 quests probably. Man, they gotta hurry the hell up. Because geez. Me and Kirsty and like Nina, we're just sitting there like doing Briony tap. Come the hell on, you know? Yeah. Crazy. And Mousie's been playing 9 million hours of it. She's really doing it. It's good times. It's good times. Those are the 3 video games that are going strong. And then Daltos is playing single player Stardew. So every now and then he's like, ha! I didn't know there was a whole island here and stuff like that. I like giving Pam some beer before she drives me to the desert. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah. So that's cool as well, hearing someone explore Stardew
See,
for the
over
first
on
time.
the other Discord, we've like not even been. They've been playing a little bit of Zomboid, but honestly, we've just been like wrestling each other.
It's a wrestling it's a wrestling Discord now, yeah.
Pretty much, like
So it's
we've
just
been playing
non-stop
a
like
bit of-
AEW story, like
Yeah, because we
screenshots
got
and stuff.
into AEW Dark,
Yeah.
which meant that we've now got like Dark, Rampage, the main stuff. In between that,
Dynamite,
we've
yeah.
been watching the old Rumbles. It's
Oh,
like every
really?
single day we're like, there's
This is
just
the
more
wrestling Discord
wrestling.
now. Wow, okay.
So we tend to like go between playing Escape Sim and then watching wrestling, and that's what it's become.
Nice. That's interesting. Yeah. I haven't watched much wrestling recently. Like I catch clips
Yeah, I'm
usually.
wearing a wrestling T-shirt right now.
Oh yeah?
So
What kind?
proud. My
What?
Jurassic Express
Oh,
one.
of course. Yeah.
Jungle Boy.
Jungle Boy, best boy. Jungle Boy Jack Perry. The son of Luke Perry, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
what?
you know. But yeah.
This is one of those things that so many people have said that to me, and I don't know who Luke Perry is, but every time I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
I literally know the name of his dad, but I don't know who it is. Is an actor of some sort?
He's a fairly famous actor, yeah.
Okay.
Let me look up exactly what he's been in. I think he was in like Beverly Hills or something.
Son of Ric Flair, says Kirsty. I don't think he is.
That's not true. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's been in a lot of things. He died not too long ago,
Aww.
in 2019. Yeah, he's been in a bunch of stuff. It wasn't like huge, but like unknown name, I'd say. TV guy,
TV dude.
TV dude.
He was
Nothing
in the
stands
film of
out to say,
Buffy,
like,
says
that
Vamp. Beverly Hill 90210. I've
Yeah.
not seen either of those.
Well,
I've never
I mean,
seen
Beverly
Buffy.
Hills was before our time, really. Well, it wasn't really, but like it went between like between 1990 and 2000, more or less. But you know, he was in about 200 episodes there, so yeah.
It was funny the other day. We were watching some AEW, and there was an interview with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. And Luchasaurus normally just goes like, "Bleh." Like he doesn't say stuff.
Yeah,
But
'cause he's a
this one-
dinosaur. Yeah.
He said something, and we were all like, oh, "Did Luchasaurus just talk?" And then Trot goes, we understand dinosaur now. We're beginning to learn.
Oh my god. That's impressive.
So if you
That's
hear him
pretty funny.
enough, we understand him now. That's what it is.
Well, I mean, I'm personally impressed. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, AW is good. Like, all I hear about it is good. I'm just not really, I don't know. I used to watch a lot more, but like, it's time is what it is, you know? There's so much AW wrestling going on, you know? Even if I were to skip WWE entirely, which I would, because I'm not really interested in it anymore. Even just AEW, there's usually like 4 or 5 hours a week to go for that, and between trying to catch in all these games, working on my D&D stuff, and listening to audiobooks, like there's only so much I can do. Now I've got the documentary about all of why NFTs are bad to watch. 2 hours of that as well. Like, geez, too much to watch, too much to do. No time for wrestling, but you know, it's all about trying to fit in stuff in your schedule.
I missed all of the, you know, when you guys used to do the like Rumble things.
Yeah.
Is it Steve that did them? Like putting them
yeah,
together?
yeah, he put them together.
And I didn't like wrestling back in those days, whereas
Yeah.
now
you do.
Steve's
Yeah.
not there anymore, and I'm like, but I want to wrestle now.
Yeah. I missed that. I thought that was really fun. It's a lot of work, but I mean, Steve was doing the work, so you know, all we had to do was have like cool ideas and stuff. So
out there wants to make me wrestle someone, please do.
Yeah. So if someone has like a good version of the WWE games that lets you make stories and characters and matches, let's do it. Let us have matches. Come on. Yeah. I do mean the Folding Ideas documentary on NFTs. It's a very good one. I've heard. I want to watch it, but you know, it's 2 hours. I did the thing I normally do when I tell people, hey, it's a good thing to watch, and I link it, and it's 2 hours, and Raps was like, no way, bro. Like, I would like to have the analytics on how many people actually watch those when you link them, because you always link long stuff, and yet we never watch them. And I'm like, Raps, I know that if I link anything longer than 5 minutes, you won't watch, but maybe someone else can, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I get it. Like, it's not easy. Hey, watch this 2 hour thing. You know, like that could be a lot. So
this is why I was worried about Mario Kart, because I thought that's 2 hours of not being able to pee and having to concentrate. That's a long time.
Yeah, and you don't want to end up like Rabs.
I was getting like, my mind is wandering so much.
Oh, really? see, the thing is, for me, right? I did 2 runs. So the first run got like a improvement to my time, but not as good a time as I wanted. And I was like, all right, next run, this is gonna go better. And then it just started going bad, and I was like, ah, shit, this run is dead. So I started letting my mind wander while racing, just talking about random stuff, you know. And all of a sudden, I started going way, way better. Like, as if when I sort of got into the zone a little bit and didn't just sit there super focused and think too hard, I did way better. Yeah. So even though the run started really bad, I ended up improving it by like half a minute. I almost said half an hour, not quite, but half a minute. And and so it's letting me think, like, next time I'm racing, maybe I shouldn't be like mega super focused, or just more sort of like, all right, let's play, let's sort of let my mind wander a little bit, and let the muscle memory and the sense of flow take over instead, or something.
Yeah. I think it's like a magic eye puzzle. You just have to get into that sort of focused but not focused.
Yeah, exactly.
Sort of state. I, by the end of it, just felt like my eyeballs were really dry, and I was like, have I blinked?
Not enough blinking. Yeah, not enough blinking. Blinking is losing precious control of frames. You could be losing frames.
And honestly, when I finally let go of the controller, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, your thumb does start to hurt. I don't know about you, like, but I realize when I hold my controller, I have my button not really in the middle of the thumb, but on almost like, you know, the part where your thumb bends, like where the joint is. I have my B button like as close to that as possible, because I'm used to have that so that the middle of the tip of the thumb is on the Y button. That's my normal positioning for controller. So I use that even when I'm only pressing the B button. Well, I could be moving my finger down, but I don't.
Oh.
So I feel there, like, I've been playing Mario Kart. Well, not right now, but like right afterwards, I just felt it.
Yeah.
It was weird.
My arms are actually achy. I was like, I've done a workout today.
Yeah.
It's 2 hours of tensing.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
I think I will give it one more go next week.
That'd be cool. Yeah, just to sort of improve yourself and see how much you can improve just from the silly stuff, like watching cutscenes and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I was so nervous as well.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous how nervous I was. So yeah, I think that probably factored into it. I didn't do any warm up or anything. I hadn't played in like ages, and I just
you didn't like even take a trip around the track just to get the feel of anything. You just went straight in. Okay.
I went straight in. I was just like, "What's the go button again? I've forgotten. Thank you. Okay, let's go."
That's sort of like how Nowsy did it. Nowsy bought the game, like did one lap around Mario Circuit to learn the controls, and then like, here we go, bam, yeah, everything blind,
Yeah.
You get 215. I wonder what
Do
he's
you
doing.
save your VODs on your channel?
Yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, I obviously let them naturally go for as long as they last, right? But then most other things I also save because, like, stuff that I think is good and worth saving.
Green Della Bean is asking, how do I watch the previous episodes? I think you'd have to, if you watch it on Rythian's channel, because I always forget to save my stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, they're on my channel. If you go to like Rythian and then videos, there'll be a collection for Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, where all our episodes are.
Nice.
Fair warning, there's a lot of fluff, a lot of talking like this, when we spend half an hour before we play. And I decided to not cut those out because what's the point? Like this is part of the experience, I think, so they're still in here. I'm gonna move.
I started I've started doing a podcast now. I don't know. Did I tell you?
I've seen 2 episodes now, and I see you have a name now as well.
We do.
Because that's literally the name of your second episode. Comfort Zone. We now have a name for our podcasts.
Yes.
So yeah. Yeah. So when you're talking about podcast, are you a one podcast only person, or can we still do that?
No, I've got a lot of
You've got a lot of thoughts.
Get out.
So our podcast could still happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure. Maybe you were like, I'm already doing one, so what's the point? But okay. Because we have a name for ours too, but we need to check if we can copyright and merchandise and get all the t-shirts and the hoodies and the hats and the fridge magnets and the necklaces and the gold chains and the rings
and those things that people inflate and then they hit together instead of clapping.
Yeah, the Japanese things. Yeah. But we have a name and a basic idea. It's a very simple idea. The idea is like, we bring an idea every episode and answer questions. That's basically our idea, and that works. And we'll see how we can. We'll need to actually set a time and do it, and we're hoping for the best.
Yeah.
I think it could be fun, as long as we don't use up all our talking during Ace Attorney episodes. But I think hopefully we can manage both. And Stardew now, actually. This will be a lot of Rythian and Briony. But I think we can still manage. I think we have enough to talk about.
Apparently the playlist for Ace Attorney is 60 hours long.
Yeah, well, we've done a lot of stuff, so I'm gonna check it out. Content collections. Great Ace Attorney Chronicles with Briony. 15 videos. Oh yeah. Yeah, that checks out. 15 videos between, usually on 4 episodes, sometimes 5. Oh god, one episode was 5.5 hours.
Blimey.
One episode was only 320, so there's that. Yeah, that's a lot of 62 hours and 28 minutes. Oh boy. Yeah, so get ready. Like, if you wanna... How long is Ace Attorney Chronicles? Turns out it's 60 hours, guys.
That's just
I wonder
half
how
of
much
it.
of that is just us. Yeah, true. Yeah. What else do I have here with you? I didn't save our previous Stardew stuff, but I've started saving this one because people asked me ahead of time, and this one's like, should we save this one? I don't see. The thing is, like, about the, I've saved a lot of my videos, but looking at the view numbers, there's not a ton of people that have watched these in general. Like most people.
There's some that I'm tempted to load up to YouTube.
Mm.
Just ones that are very like, I don't think many people would watch them, but just to have them there, just to have them.
To
like
save
things
them?
like, yeah, when I did a stream that was just squeak. So there wasn't any talking. There's no you don't have to worry about that sort of thing. And I was like, oh, maybe I could just load that up, just have it if anyone wanted to watch. And when Kirsty and Tom trained me for Rocket League, basically anything where I've not been able to chat too much, so there's nothing that people would be like, the heck, because it feels like, I guess otherwise it feels very much like one side of a conversation when you're just sort of there like, yeah, that's true. And you'd just be watching it like, what? True? What? What?
Yeah. I mean, the thing for me, right, is like most things is, you know, if I'm just doing a stream of something, whatever, if that doesn't get saved for all posterity, who cares? I figured like people usually have about 2 months to watch it because like Twitch saves it like two months until it starts getting like deleted. So if people really want to see it, they'll usually catch it at the time. But coming from like a YouTube background where literally everything was saved and uploaded in playlists and so on, organizing it and having it saved for me was good. And I thought that, you know, hey, people did that on YouTube, they might do it as well here on Twitch, but not really. Like I had 4 videos on Inscription, right? 12 hours of streaming. Great game, by the way. And I was like, those gotta save because that was really good. But it has like 7 views. Okay, no, that's not quite true, I guess. For some reason, the collection sells as 7 views. But the episodes have like 31, 17, 5, and 25 views. But even then, it's like, okay, so there's less than, 50 people total who got out of their way to watch that thing as a video form. So is that worth it? Is it worth spending the time to save it? Because obviously there's a lot more people watching it live, and that sort of thing. But I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm saving it anyway. Like if something is cool, I like having it saved. But a lot of people who asked, also I think a lot of people watched click the VOD right now because the collection of the Grace Ace Attorney one just jumped to be like a lot all of a sudden in views. Yeah, a lot of people clicked that one.
I do sometimes miss, because I think back to, like Hansan said, things like Breath of the Wild and Hollow Knight, and I'm like, oh, It's not saved anywhere. It's just the odd clip that might have been saved. Other than that, it's all just gone.
I miss stuff like Darkest Dungeon and Breath of the Wild, which are some of the streams I was doing when I was sort of starting out streaming more regularly, and when I was really sort of building the basics and the cornerstone of my community that everything's been built on since then. Like that sort of stuff I think would have been fun to have around. Like I played a lot of Breath of the Wild and I love that game. Sometimes I think maybe it would be cool to see that for the first time again. But,
Yeah.
It's not there. There's not much I can do about that. It's gone. So.
I just had a message from my mum saying, because I did a tweet earlier saying I was feeling a bit down and the bunnies were keeping me company.
Yeah.
And my mum just messaged me saying, I was worried you were feeling down, but just had a little watch on Twitch and saw that you were feeling better and that you were wearing your mask before the concert. There you go. I'm not in trouble with my mum.
Your mom has managed it. You told her.
My mum honestly has this habit of I don't know how she does it, but if ever I mention her very briefly on stream, she'd be like, I just stopped by your stream and I heard this, and she must think I'm talking about her all the time, and she doesn't know.
Listen, I don't want to break the illusion, but she watches all the time. She just doesn't say she watches all the time because she doesn't want to seem like, oh, I'm watching all the time. I watch every single thing you do, because she thinks like that sounds a bit much. So I'll just say I popped in briefly and managed to catch.
One
That's
of
what
my
I think.
favorite messages I ever had from my mum was like, "I saw a bit of your stream earlier. You were trying to draw a horse. Have a nice day." It's like, I was trying to draw a horse.
This is
It did
true.
not go well.
Well, that's lovely.
Mums are good.
Mums are good, yeah. I had which reminds me, I got a message from my mom too. I gotta send a message to her. I'm gonna quickly to send something, because I feel guilty now that I thought of it. Because I was up late, right, and she sent it to me this morning, and yeah, because she just took her booster shot, and she said like it's mostly fine, and I'm hoping it stays fine, because it hit me pretty hard. I had to cancel D&D and just like do nothing all day.
Yeah. See, I'm pretty sure I just got given some sort of placebo because I didn't have any reaction to any of my 3.
Really?
I think I'm just in the test subjects. Just the trials, like, yeah, just Ribena. Put anything in there.
Yeah. Just whatever. Just put in some sugar water. It's fine.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're gonna have to entertain people for like a minute or two while I'm typing.
Oh, what is blue and not heavy? Light blue.
Okay, I'm sorry on behalf of the stream, everyone.
I think I've already said that to my chat like 3 times. They're probably like, no, not again.
Not again. Yeah.
Go back to telling the baker joke. We're fed up of this one.
It was a very lackluster message, but I sent something to her.
You ever hear your mum speaking English?
Yeah, sometimes. My ex-girlfriend was American, so when she came over to visit, she spoke English with her. So there was that. But other than that, no, not really.
Is it weird, like hearing? Because if you're like so used to hearing her speak Swedish, is it weird if you hear her speak English?
I mean, no, I wouldn't say weird. Like it's uncommon. It's rare, but I don't go like, "What the hell? Why are you speaking?" It's not really something like that.
Wash your mouth out. That filthy language.
No. I mean, but yeah, no. I think I'm.
Does
I find
Sweden
it pretty
have a
normal.
royal family?
Yes, we do.
Do you have a king?
Yes, we do.
Oh.
The Knugen. That makes no sense to you, but Swedish people out there, you get me. You get me.
I wonder if we're gonna have a king in the next few years. That's weird.
Come on. Your queen's gonna be alive for like 20 more years, let's be honest. She's been alive for ages, so she's not gonna die anytime soon.
Do you think she's gonna outlive me?
Yeah, probably. And me.
Good for her.
Yeah?
Good for her.
Good for her. Though arguably, like, so our king and queen basically have 0 power, you know?
Yeah.
And, well, I mean, that's not true. They have some power, but it's like more vestigial and, what's the word I'm looking for? Performative, maybe? No. Like various old traditional things that like, oh, they usually do this or whatever, but they don't make any real decisions in that regard. You know, obviously we have an actual government that do that. So
it is weird.
To have a king and stuff that doesn't do anything, yes, it is. Like, isn't it insane that king used to be like kings run everything, and these days it's just like, yeah, I guess we have this old family that like newspapers love gossiping about, I suppose, and we send them around to do variety of diplomatic, visits to just wave at people, but they don't really do anything. It's like, what the hell?
It's very strange.
Yeah.
When did it become a thing? Because back in like the olden days, if you like killed the king, you became king, you took over. When did that stop being a thing? Because imagine if someone killed the queen now, we wouldn't be like, well done,
I guess you're
now the king of England. We'd be like, what's wrong with you?
I don't think it literally worked like that. If you killed the king personally, you got to be king. It's more if there was a war and you overthrew them, you know, you had power through force. It's not so much if you were an assassin and you...
It's not like playing it.
Yeah, you're queen.
I'm the king now.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it was so much that, but yeah. Yeah. No, I don't know. Like, it's weird that it's still a thing, honestly. It's a waste of money, and all it does is keep gossip mags in business. It's kind of dumb, honestly. I don't know why you haven't abolished monarchy in both Britain and Sweden, honestly. It's not really much point to it.
The argument in England, at least, is always that it brings in a lot of money with tourism.
I don't know if that's true. And surely, like, the money they spend must go more than that. Like, do you really think a lot of people from outside are gonna be like, ooh, I gotta visit England specifically for the Queen?
I think people would still
for the
want to come see Buckingham Palace, even if
but the palace will still exist without the Queen. Yeah, like whatever is spent on all of the queens and stuff, like, I cannot see people being that much interested in it. Like, yes, there will be like old 60-year-old ladies who love reading the newspaper every now and then to see who Meghan Markle has slept with today or what. I don't know the details. Prince Joseph is, if he said something uncouth at the latest military dinner, but one of those like, I don't think people really care. And if it went away, a lot of people would probably be angry at first. Oh, this is a tradition, we've always like. They get over it, and then wow, money freed up. Maybe do something good with it. Oh god.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start talking money and what people spend it on again. This is gonna end up badly.
It is difficult. It's difficult to say because I grew up in a very like not against, but like what's the word? What's the word if you're not a royalist?
Anti, I guess.
Can't
You're
remember.
populist.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's literally the opposite, but.
But then I do see people who really do like them, and I'm like, okay.
Well, I don't have any problem with like people liking them or whatever. That's fine. But the thing is, I don't want, you know, money, time, and effort being spent from running the country, things that could be spent on better things, to be spent on this random old ass family. You know, they are just normal people.
I remember there was like a report of how much tax had gone on to I don't remember which one it was. It was like a distant, maybe like a nephew, a niece of the Queen or something. It was like not like the immediate, but the outer. And it was she had got a helicopter ride from her horse riding lessons, and I was just like, why did I pay for this? I want to pay for your horses and your helicopters.
Yeah, that is insane. Like, they are still, the thing is, they're still treated like royalty. That's the thing, right? They get all these extra shit, like, paid for them free. Like,
yeah,
surely, like, if they are that special, they should already be rich and they can spend their own money on that shit. Like, that should not be taxed.
I'm a bit scared now that we're gonna, if we start talking about abolishing the monarchy, there's just gonna be police at the door.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna,
well, yeah. You know how it is.
Cut and I'm gonna get dragged out of the room.
Yeah.
I think the Queen's great.
Queen, the Queen sends her regards. No. Yeah.
Get a bag over my head and taken off, and then the Queen's just there. One is quite perturbed.
The Crown State donates all the profits to the Treasury, which seems nice, but the thing is, like, that's profits, right? That is what's after everything that's already been spent on them, which means a lot of stuff has already been spent on them, and that's the problem, not whatever else they get. That's like, Hollywood accounting for movies, where like, oh yeah, we have, 500 budget, and the movie didn't make any money. It's like, how can it not make any money? Like, I've seen here that it's like been seen 1,000,000 times and 5,000 countries each, and it's like, yeah, well, budget, and they just keep increasing the budget and paying this and so on.
With what's that film? The Producers.
Yeah.
When they
the producers specifically, I think they want to flop for a variety of reasons. Yeah. But Hollywood accounting is a thing where basically like they make a movie and rather they have like a contract that's like, actors get so and so the profit. You need to pay this and so the profit. So like, okay, well, I mean, if you don't have any profit, then we don't have to pay them that. So that sounds great to me. So instead of like having like, hey, this movie made $1 million profit, like all of a sudden there is 330,000 expenses in the budget that had to go for consulting fees, and then, all of a sudden that's not a profit anymore, and then that money has disappeared and you don't have to pay people.
I used to get, this isn't quite the same thing, but I used to get so angry when I worked in TV because we would get, I would ask for like money for various things, and they would be like, nope, just not in our budget. Like they'd ask you to work an extra day, and I'd be like, well, an extra day out of my contract should be a daily's rate instead of a contract rate, so I should get more for this. And I'd be like, no, and then you'd get to like the last few days of the show, and they'd realize they'd come in under budget, and they would just start spaffing money up the wall, because if they came in under budget, then they wouldn't get that budget for the next year. So they're just like, buy the golden eggs, we don't care anymore. And I'm like, so you could have just given me a proper pay money.
Oh, it's frustrating as hell for stuff like that, because that's literally it. Like, because they're like, okay, we were given a budget to do X, and if they do that for, let's say $5,000 under budget, that means the next time they ask for budget, it's gonna be $5,000 less.
Yeah.
That makes a certain degree of sense, even though it's dumb. But that creates situations like this where, like, hey, we did it cheap. That's a bad thing. Let's throw money at something so it doesn't look bad. Like the entire system, everyone can tell the system is dumb, right?
That being said, on the other side of things, I did once work on some, like a long-standing TV show that would employ people, and even they'd be like, why are we just sat around not doing anything? And it'd be like, because other teams will need this budget when they do need people, so just take your day's pay and don't complain. Just do it. So I'd be like, it's nice that they are working to employ people in the long term, sort of thing. Even if
like it's certain things to like, there's so many ways to run it basically, but it's all about people in charge and what they do with the money. But I just find it's like, for like the Hollywood accounting quote unquote thing, it's so slimy. Someone is writing in the contract like, okay, well, rather than taking money up front, they're gonna do something like, George Lucas or whatever, like, I don't need that much money, I'm just gonna take a cut of the toy sales or whatever. And it's like, okay, bam, and he gets lots of money. Or someone's like, well, I'm gonna take money on the profit the movie makes because they believe in the movie, and like, okay, instead of paying me much money, we can use some of that money to make the movie, and instead I'll take my cover from what we get. And eventually it's like, yeah, right, like some creative rating. Oh, consulting fees, information scouting, making up things that cost X amount, so to keep them in the money where they want, pay them to whoever they want, and just lie about where it's gone, so that, sorry, this multi-million dollar that 1 billion people watched didn't make any profit, I'm afraid. Sorry, we made $100,000 profit only. Like, how can that be? Like, well, consulting fees. It's frustrating as hell to basically see people do their economic wizardry to screw people out of what they earn, honestly.
Meridian.
Yes.
It's been almost an hour and we've not played the game.
Right, yeah. The game. I was wondering what that sound was in my headphones, that music that keeps playing. Well, that's first episode of the podcast, I guess. Very rambly. Very rambly. I think you're right. I think it's probably time to play a game. I think you're probably right. We've had enough rambling. Let's play a game.
Let's do some voices.
Yes. Oh, no. Never mind. We
Oh?
actually have to start something new.
Oh.
Because remember, we have to go to... Ta-da!
Oh.
New music! We should have had this music playing the entire time.
Okay, let's talk for another hour. Here we
Okay,
go.
another hour talking. Right. So another thing about people in charge and money. No. That's like the go-to thing for me to complain about. Okay, here we go. White screen. It's probably her dad's.
Standing here in the bright sunshine, looking out over the vast ocean. Those
She has a great
days
voice.
in London seem like a
Yeah.
dream. But I do miss my time in England's vast capital.
Her accent's so interesting. It's like
You
half
know,
Asian, half
He's
English.
flourished into a truly wonderful lawyer.
Aw.
I've no doubt that at this
Yeah.
very moment,
Thank
he's
you, Hansan.
fighting some noble cause in court. Forgive me for taking so long to come to visit you. My life has been such a whirlwind since I returned. And no one could have predicted what has happened. Just 2 months after arriving home.
Oh, she stopped talking. It's her! I knew it! She's coming back.
So I came here today to ask something of you. Tomorrow, I shall be standing in court. For the only time in my life. As a lawyer.
Oh.
Giselle! Wait, is she dead?
Wait.
She's dead!
So please, I ask for your guidance.
Wait, did the swan die too? Oh.
Whoa! The adventure of the blossoming attorney. That's you! You're the blossoming attorney.
Why would she go to her dad's grave to talk to someone who's on holiday?
That's true, very true. That's also very strange. I can't. That's just weird. Okay, well now you're the lawyer, so now you need to play the game during lawyer time, and I need to play during investigation time.
Oh,
We should switch it up now because you're the lawyer.
Malad says, "I've been shut up forever." Oh no!
Oh no, Giselle Brett. She will no longer shout "shut up" at people.
She's
13th
telling-
August, 8:26 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Defendants, Antechamber 3. Can you click? Or I need to make you click. I don't think I've given you click rights. There we go. Now you should be able to click.
Yep. Here I am again, after 9 months. The Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan.
There we go. I said Judicature, but yeah.
I feel so nervous, but I must still my nerves and find a way to compose myself.
I think my webcam is blocking a little bit of the text. Let's sort that out. Bum bum. Bottom corner. That's alright.
Wait, isn't this her?
This
dad?
is her dad, yeah.
So he's. I thought he was like on his last legs.
No, it was Iris's dad who died.
Why did she go? I thought she went home because her dad was ill. Isn't that why she was going back to Japan?
I think you might be right, actually. Yeah. Wasn't that something? I guess he's fine now. It's been a couple of months, I guess.
Better.
Yeah.
Yay!
Good. You're here. It doesn't do for a lawyer to be late.
Oh, yes. Good morning, sir.
I hardly recognize you. You cut a fine figure, Counsel. But you look as white as a sheet, and those wide eyes aren't doing you any favors either.
Oh dear. The truth is, I'm so incredibly nervous, I feel utterly nauseated. I almost wish that I'd never been born.
Oh, wow. That's
Wow.
it's a bit extreme. Bit extreme. Goodness, not the sort of thing a father hopes to hear from his daughter, I must say.
Eugen, would that be Eugen?
I think so, Eugen.
Mikitoba, Professor of Medicine at the Imperial Yume University. A man who earlier in his life traveled to Great Britain to study the latest advances in forensic medical science.
And there he met Iris's dad.
And of course, my brilliant father. Oh.
Excuse me. We don't know what voice it is. Oh, okay.
Oh.
My voice, maybe, I guess.
Yeah?
Would I be correct in thinking that you're to be my lawyer in court today?
Oh, yes. That's right, miss.
Well, I want to thank you for agreeing to represent me. I swear on my life. It's a complete fabrication, this whole thing.
Ray Mambabi. Born the same year as I, and my greatest friend.
Oh.
Though unusual for a woman in our time, she works at the university research laboratory helping my father. And sadly, she's the defendant in today's trial. Accused of committing a truly awful murder.
If she murdered you to help Brett, I get it. She was quite frustrating.
Ray Mambabi, remember me.
Remember me. Remember me. Remember me. Remember me. Remember me. Remember me. Remember me. We got it.
Are you feeling all right? Since we started talking, you seem, well, to have become a little flushed.
Oh my, it's just that you look so gallant and dashing.
Sorry?
And when I fall under your intense gaze, it makes me feel rather bashful. Oh, wow.
Goodness, I don't think she knows. She hasn't realized who I am.
What? I thought you said you were your greatest friend. Huh. What? How can she... It would seem our little plan for this trial is going to work. Are you, like, wearing a crazy outfit or something?
Oh, wait.
Oh, you're probably wearing an outfit to make you look like a man.
Oh, I just dressed up as
Yeah. Amazing. Oh, what do you mean, Professor Mikitoba? If even your best friend can see through the disguise, I think we can relax. Disguise?
Yes, I've never tried dressing this way before, of course, so I wasn't sure how convincing it would be. But this does make me feel a little relieved, as you say, Father.
Father?
I want to reveal.
Yeah, please reveal. What? Is that you, Susato?
I'm so sorry I didn't say something sooner, Ray. It's just...
No, what are you doing? What's going on? What? That varsity uniform, the varsity cap, the varsity cape, that varsity badge. Look at you! You look for all the world just like a student of the Imperial Yume University. A male student!
I'm so glad you think so. Means all my preparations have been worthwhile. I woke at 4 this morning to make a start.
But I don't understand. Why are you dressed like that?
Well, you see...
It was the only way. The only way she would be permitted into the Supreme Court to take on your defense in this trial. My defense?
Never before in my life have I felt so frustrated at having been born into this body. Courts in Japan are barred to women. We're not even allowed to set foot inside the courtroom,
Wow.
despite the fact that the laws of the land apply to all people, male and female alike.
But women are forbidden.
Hang on.
All right,
If
I'll
women
hang
are
on.
forbidden into the courtoorum, could you do a murder and then be like, well, you can't try me. Not allowed in.
Not allowed in.
Found a loophole.
Yeah. Well, Giselle Brett was no, she was there. She was in the very first case. So I think if you're charged, you can go there, I think.
But there goes my plan.
Though she was like a diplomat from England, so
Yeah.
maybe
I
if
guess
you're
that's
like a
what-
defendant, you still get represented. You're just not in there at the time, maybe. You know.
Yeah.
No, you'd have to be able to call witnesses and stuff, though, right? Sure.
Yeah, I guess it's work.
Geeky God, you're saying that Giselle was a witness at first before she was charged. So yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
Just for today, I'll be leaving my true self at the courtroom door, so that I can act as your lawyer.
Oh, Susato, you'd go to such lengths for me?
Of course. You're my greatest friend. I just worry that I shan't be the lawyer you deserve.
Oh no, I have complete faith in you.
Ray,
It's so strange, though. I mean, you're such an accomplished judicial assistant already. And yet, just because you're a woman... What a wretched reason. I mean, why shouldn't you be allowed in court? You're so gallant and dashing.
Oh, God. Yes.
Ray? Please don't look at me like that, with those flushed cheeks and doting eyes.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just... You really do look so dashing.
Okay, give us the reveal already.
Yes, you mentioned that once or twice.
All of the gay? I'm not sure because she seems interested in her because she looks very manly. So I don't know. I don't know if we can go that far. But then again, maybe she doesn't mind. You should be pleased. It means you look convincing as a man.
I am pleased, I think. It certainly helped to bolster my confidence today. Ray, you're managing to put on a brave face in all this, but I can see through it. I've noticed how your shoulders are slumped and how you're trembling ever so slightly.
Susato, you do believe me, don't you? I didn't do it. I couldn't have. I mean, murder.
Of course. You have nothing to worry about. Your conscience is perfectly clean.
So Briony needs to do a fake guy voice for
I was
Susato in the
thinking
courtroom.
I was thinking, if she just sounded the same?
Yeah. It's like, hello, I am a male lawyer. It is good to see you.
It's like, oh, okay, I guess it's fine. Can't blame people for their voice, you know.
Isn't that right?
Yes. Yes, it is. Perfectly clean.
I have absolutely no doubt in my mind about your innocence. Which is why I'll stand by you until the bitter end in this trial. Whatever happens, I'll always be on your side. Hang on, does that mean it's going to be against Itchy? Ow. Ow?
Ouch, ouchie. Ouchie, I think. Yeah, probably.
Oh no.
No.
That's what it means to be a defense lawyer.
That means so much to me, Susato.
Defendant! Counsel!
Even the Japanese guards are Cockney.
Wait, is it Courtney? Because I read the word Cockney.
Yeah. Courtney.
That's still Courtney Cock.
Yes.
Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once.
You should go in at once, Ray. If you're late, the judge won't hesitate to pronounce you guilty. Oh,
I forgot that was me already. Stand aside!
I don't think I've ever seen her run so fast.
well, Susato, you've certainly surprised your father. Going to such lengths to be admitted into the courtroom and with no prior experience of being a lawyer.
There was simply no other way. That's all there is to it. But Father, you haven't told her, have you? I mean, I'm right in assuming that Ray doesn't know how it came to this?
Yes, quite right. I've kept that information from her. It would only worry her if she's found out that no other lawyer would agree to take her case.
Ugh.
That's always a bad sign. But then again, every case is like that. So it's only me. No one else would. There's no chance. It's impossible to win this case. And then we always win the case. So, we're fine. I didn't want to burden her with that.
And is it true? The reason why every other lawyer is refusing to take the case? Is it really because of who the victim was?
We should be making a move now, too. As you know, law isn't my field, but I'll do what I can to support my student.
Thank you, Father.
Giselle Brett?
I'm Susato Mikotoba, a judicial assistant. 8 months ago, I accompanied a student of law on a study trip to Great Britain. But 2 months ago, due to unforeseen circumstances, I found myself back in Japan. How many times have I wished that he were here? I wonder. Still, I have no choice but to steel myself for the trial ahead. Wish me luck, Naruhodo-san.
Oh.
Doot, 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 doot.
13th August, 9 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom 1.
Oh,
Yeah, it's Ouchie. Should I do Ouchie, I guess? Since you're Susato now, so we'll argue against each other. Sure, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm judge again. Yeah. Well, it's
I'll be
fine.
the judge, you'll be in the defendant.
You can, yeah, if you want, yeah.
I was just immediately trying to go and do a Cockney accent. I can't remember the voice you did for him before.
For this guy, I went to very regal. Oh, probably not too dissimilar from the voice I'm using from Mikotoba's dad. But you do yours, man. You do yours. Whatever works for you.
This court is now in session to hear the trial of Ray Membami.
Remember me. The prosecution is... Oh, that's gonna hurt in the long run. I gotta be careful what I do here. The prosecution is fully ready to proceed, Your Excellency. There we go. Oh, the reveal! Yes! Oh, she looks amazing!
You have like a big fake beard or something.
Yeah, I assumed, yeah.
Defense counsel, are you ready?
Yes, Your Excellency, we are ready.
Ready. Ah, yes, counsel. According to your registration details, your name is, Rutaro Naruhodo? Is that correct? Sorry?
Oh yes, I had to come up with a suitable male name for you, this little venture. So I'm afraid I simply put down the first name that sprung to mind.
Well, counsel? Yes, that's right. That's me. Yes. I am Rutaro. He who has vowed to uphold the pride of the great Naruhodo clan.
You've got the shifting eyes going, much like Runosuke has.
Ah.
It seems Ryotaro may need to consider how better to uphold this manly act first and not overdo it. And those wild, wide eyes aren't doing any favors either. Just relax and listen. Naruhodo? A fresh face in this courtroom, if I'm not mistaken. But the name Naruhodo. Would that perchance be...
You may be thinking of Ryunosuke Naruhodo, currently in Britain as part of a study program. This is
His cousin.
That's right. Ryutaro here has been studying in the provinces, but was called to the capital for this trial. I assure you, in matters of law, his knowledge rivals that of any Tokyo's preeminent lawyers.
Any of them.
What a pitiful situation. Having been rejected by every lawyer in the capital, the accused has had to call in a country boy. How dare you! Susato's... Oh boy. Susato's every bit as gallant and dashing as any of your Tokyo attorneys. I won't have you making fun of her. Oh boy. Her? Oh,
Please be careful, Ray.
What an unrefined tomboy we have here. But I wonder, is your gallant and dashing lawyer up to the challenge of defending you? His wide, skittish eyes very much suggest that he is not.
I'm so nervous. Now that I'm standing in his shoes, I'm starting to understand what Naruhodo-san goes through. Like it or not, eyes are want to flit.
Oh, fancy words. Thank you for the raid, George Jeans. Timing.
The case to be heard on this day is a matter of great significance to our national interests. In fact, it would be reasonable to assume that the outcome of this trial may well affect the very future of our empire.
It's always such high stakes. Just like the trial 9 months ago. And yet, for proceedings of such importance, we have this unknown yokel by the dock? Dear me.
Perhaps this would be an appropriate moment for me to assess the defense. To determine whether you are sufficiently competent to practice in this courtroom.
9 months ago, when a certain other Naruhodo stood where you're standing now, this same judge tested him as well. And even though he was just a student at the time, not even of law, he passed the test with flying colors. For a trained and experienced judicial assistant like you, this will be easy.
So, counsel, do you consent to answering some simple questions? Aww. All right, it's time to prove myself.
Fantastic!
Yes, Your Excellency, but please do make them simple. Very well. To start with,
I am loving Susato being Naruhodo right now. It is so good. This is fantastic.
she's learned all the
Yeah,
moves.
all the moves and all the mannerisms.
You will state the name of the victim. Oh, that is simple. I couldn't forget that if I tried.
Oh no, I forgot it.
What's the matter?
Now that I'm standing in his shoes, I'm starting to understand something else Naruhodo-san goes through. Like it or not, minds are want to blank.
It's not surprising, really. It's your first time in this position and in that guise. Even a bright spark like you is bound to flicker and falter a little under the circumstances.
Oh dear. This is a dismal failure.
Don't fret, you need only use the knowledge you've gained as a judicial assistant to overcome the problem.
Of course. The court record.
Yes, the answer will be amongst all the key information about the case in the court record. That's right, just use E to open the court record. Then you need to flip to the people section with E. And don't take too long over it, His Excellency is watching you closely.
All right. Check the court record with E. That's where the information I need will be. I'm waiting, counsel. What is the name of the victim in this case? I mean, I'll look anyway.
Yeah, just in case.
Yes.
Just check the people as well. We've got information coming. Meiosis. Okay. I'm sure we'll go deeper into the autopsy report soon enough. Oh, you didn't check the people. Not that it matters, but... Eugene Mikotoba. That's me. Remember me. That's also me. Giselle Brett. That was me. Yeah. And Ouchie. That is now also me.
So...
Yes.
Yes. The name of the victim who lost her life in this case is Miss Giselle Brett.
Giselle Brett. A name that will never be forgotten in the courtrooms of our country, I'm sure.
Correct. And being a member of our empire's judiciary, you will be well aware of the significance of that name. So, let me pose another simple question. As you know, Miss Brett was a visiting student from the Empire of Great Britain. Why, then, is her name indelibly associated with our own empire's judicial history?
Obviously, you won't have forgotten that case from 9 months ago. But if it's proving hard to recall the finer points, everything you need is included in the court record. See, if you press E, you check with E.
Obviously, I still remember. That was the start of everything. Giselle Brett, behind the woman's student persona, was the face of...
Queen Victoria.
Killer.
Yes!
Yes! 9
She's
months
got
ago...
the slam down. She doesn't get the like
oh,
small
yeah,
slap
that's
yet.
true.
Yeah.
A visiting professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University was killed. And the culprit was Giselle Brett.
Yes, she was a killer. At the time, our country had just signed a new treaty with the Empire of Great Britain.
What was that treaty called?
The Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Navigation and Friendship, I think. And it was in the midst of this delicate diplomatic situation that the incident occurred. An Englishman, Dr. John H. Wilson, was shot dead. I believe he was an associate of yours, Professor Mikotoba. Oh, what? I thought it was Professor Mikotoba. It was the judge talking all this time, I think. Or maybe it was Susata talking.
Mikotoba?
It might have been. I don't know who was talking. Yes, I was indebted to the man. See, this is why they need the nameplate every time. Otherwise, it's... Yeah. Yes, I was indebted to the man. He'd been my mentor when I went to London to study forensic medicine. Indeed, it was I who invited him here to Japan as a visiting professor at the university. Naturally, the murder of an Englishman on our soil was a matter the government wished to resolve rapidly.
Indeed it was, which is why a secret trial was conducted here at the Supreme Court.
A secret trial? I think it's you this time.
A student of the Imperial Yume University was arrested on suspicion of murder. A second-year English language student by the name of Runosuke Naruhodo. With the help of his best friend, a student lawyer, the accused conducted his own defense.
Shut up!
And exposed the despicable crime committed by Miss Giselle Brett.
I wonder if her name is meant to be like a pun on something, except like Brett Brat. But
Well, wasn't it something to do with like a type
maybe
of
it was a Sherlock Holmes villain or something. I can't remember.
Was it
or
a
something.
bullet thing, like a Giselle bullet? or
Oh,
something?
maybe.
I can't. I
I remember us talking about it at the time, but yeah.
Yeah. Miss Brett eventually admitted to her crime. However, when questioned about the motive that drove her to take Dr. Wilson's life, she gave no satisfactory answer before the trial reached its conclusion.
Immediately after the trial, the British government brought its consular jurisdiction into play. We were unable to sentence Miss Brett according to our empire's laws. It was decided that she would be removed to Shanghai, China instead.
Why Shanghai?
There's a British consular court there.
Correct. I oversaw the negotiations personally. The date of her transfer to Shanghai was finally settled only last week.
A Giselle gun, or a Giselle bullet, is what Watson was shot in Afghanistan.
Ah.
Okay. So it's connected to Watson, or Wilson in this case. Yeah.
All that remained of our empire's obligations was to see the woman safely on board a steamship.
And yet, the very day before her departure, the Englishwoman was killed.
Only the day before? That will do. I'm satisfied that the counsel for the defense is sufficiently capable of representing the defendant. I mean, all it was was that we could read the name.
Yeah.
That's enough.
She knows how to read. That's fine. She's perfectly fine. Or he.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Over the first hurdle. Now, a summary of the incident, if you please. Prosecutor Ouchie.
As is your wish, Your Excellency. The repugnant crime took place on the 11th August in broad daylight. Ah, seagulls. On the outskirts of the imperial capital, under a bright blue sky, at a secluded bathing spot by the sea. There was a sand castle there, and there was a harsh battle over who had made it and who deserved to get credit.
Was it the crab or the seagull?
Yeah, exactly. The incident occurred inside a small beach hut erected for bathers to rest or change their clothes. The cause of death was a single stab wound to the posterior abdomen that pierced the victim's lung. An injury which proved fatal. There were two persons alone together in the beach hut at the time of the victim's death. Miss Brett, in her bathing attire.
What? She doesn't look like she's wearing bathing attire in that picture.
And
Yes,
the
she was wearing
accused, Ray Mbami.
A robe over the top or something.
Maybe. Accordingly, there can be no doubt of the accused's guilt, especially when we consider she had a powerful motive. The police arrived rapidly at the scene and promptly arrested the young lady.
Why was Giselle Brett allowed to just chill and go to the beach? Like, wasn't she like going to be transferred specifically to China to face trial there? And she's just like, I'm on my own, chilling on a beach.
Yeah. And he raises a very good point. Is the swan okay? Did the swan die when she died?
We are
Or
not
is-
sure.
No.
Maybe this one has been taken into custody and being questioned as witness. Maybe we get to like question the swan.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Well, that extraordinary description of events leaves me somewhat lost for words, I must say. That's certainly true. The prosecution summary was full of words that raise an awful lot of questions. As a lawyer, I really ought to pick up the prosecution counsel on what he said about.
I'm mostly curious about the motive right now, but there are a lot of things. Yeah.
You're clearly exaggerating. Powerful motive is a blatant overstatement.
It's the yokel boy using long words he doesn't fully understand.
I beg your pardon?
No matter. Let us put this to the accused, shall we? Membami-san, you are a research assistant at the Imperial Human University, I believe. Yes, I am. I'm working with Professor Mikotoba in his laboratory at the moment. I can confirm that. The defense is an excellent assistant with a strong sense of responsibility. Fascinating to hear. Now, another question. Prior to your work with Professor Mikotoba, whose research were you assisting then?
Oh.
Well, I was studying under Dr. John H. Wilson.
Oh. Dr. Wilson? The visiting English professor who was murdered by Miss Brett 9 months ago?
The accused had a deep-seated respect for her former mentor, Dr. Wilson. Is that not true? Yes, Dr. Wilson was a wonderful man. Interesting. Then tell the court what deep-seated feelings you had towards the Englishwoman who killed him. Well, obviously I was filled with hatred for what you'd done. A powerful hatred. Oh, Godfrey.
A murderous rage!
Yeah, in fact, I wanted to kill her, and I would have taken any chance. Wait, no.
Oh no, Ray, be careful what you're saying.
Ah. The motive was revenge. Plain and simple, Your Excellency. Well, it was clearly a trap all along.
How wicked of him to use Ray's undying respect for her former mentor against her like that. I must find out more details and something we can use to bolster our defense. As a lawyer, I really ought to pick up the prosecution counsel and what he said about
Being alone together, there was 3 people. One of them was a swan. What if the swan did the murder?
Membami-san.
Yes, what is this? Naruhodo-san.
I'm really starting to wish I'd made my alias Rutaro Susato. Please, tell the court why exactly you were present at the bathing spot with the victim in the first place. And why you were alone with her.
Oh, well, no, that's not true. It wasn't like that at all. There were other people present. A detective who was guarding Miss Brett, for starters. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I was just asked to accompany Miss Brett as a companion, that's all. But let us be clear. At the moment of her death, you were alone together with the victim in the hut. You and no one else. The truth is, there is only one reason why this young woman accompanied Miss Brett on her bathing sojourn. It was the accused's last chance to take the victim's life. No. Because, as we know, the following day would see Miss Brett extradited to the British authorities in Shanghai. And the accused would never have an opportunity to dispatch her again. Murmur, 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 murmur.
Kindly refrain from conjecture, counsel.
The prosecution counsel seems to enjoy using provocative tricks like that. But for now, at least, we need to assemble more facts. Try not to let them goad you.
Oh dear. This is really terrifying. But Father's right. We need more information. As a lawyer... Oh,
The
the
bathing spot!
If I may, Prosecutor Ouchie.
What do you want, you fresh-faced young yokel student?
I wonder, could you explain, please? You mentioned a bathing spot?
Ha! My apologies. Clearly my modernity has confused the poor country bumpkin's simple mind. Bathing spots are the very latest trend in health practices from the West. We are told that bathing in the water of the ocean is curative, therapeutic, and excellent for the skins.
No, that's not what I meant. I was referring to the fact that Miss Brett had, to all intents and purposes, been found guilty of murder. Why would a known criminal have been relaxing by the sea?
For old time's sake, I believe. What? Okay.
Sorry?
Miss Brett was to depart for Shanghai the following day. Her final wish, as it were, was to enjoy a day at our country's wonderful coast. And the British Embassy put extreme pressure on our government to comply.
But on what grounds would we agree to such a request?
Because, as usual, our government is unable to stand up to foreign powers. In matters of diplomacy, it seems we don't even have the courage to decline the whims of a known criminal. Don't look at me, Professor. It was the government who granted permission, not I. In any case, it was decided that with a dedicated detective on duty, nothing could go wrong.
Well, clearly that was not right.
Something definitely went wrong, yes. Yes.
But in fact, a murder took place.
I said, don't look at me. It was that young student girl who did it, not I.
No one has proved that yet.
I wouldn't provoke the man if you don't need to.
I believe we all have a clear picture of the incident now.
Despite her guilt being determined 9 months ago, Ms. Brett managed to avoid incarceration, instead continuing her research work at the university. Really?
What? She was still
She
working?
literally working? Obviously, over that period, she and Ray would have encountered each other on a number of occasions. She literally got to just work? Oh yeah, we've found you guilty for murder, but I guess keep doing your shit and people can just work with you, no big deal. Man, that's
Yeah.
mad. That's mad. Psst, it's you.
Oh, seeing the murderer of the mentor for whom she had such great respect, enjoying such undeserved liberty.
Yes, even if it was only temporary until Miss Brett's extradition to Shanghai. You can hardly blame Ray for her feelings of anger and resentment.
Poor Ray.
So, Your Excellency, if you'd be so kind as to peruse this exhibit. A photographic print that shows the scene of the crime immediately following the grim incident. Okay, she's got some sort of robe over. It's not her normal dress.
Yeah.
What do we see here
Who's
immediately?
this? Stood in the corner with their wooden...
Yeah. Yeah, ooh. Some
They
sort
did
of
it.
robot monster did it.
Yes, thank you, Council. A tragic image. But is the swan alive, we want to know.
Yes. This one doesn't look well. As you can clearly see, there's nowhere within the hut that anyone else could have hidden.
Under the dress.
Yeah, exactly. And just wooden legs,
The court will accept this photographic print as evidence. The photograph of the crime scene has been entered into the court record.
There you go.
Okay. As I understand it then, the victim and the defendant were alone inside the beach hut at the time. This is deeply troubling, I must say. The finger of guilt points firmly at the defendant.
Well, Your Excellency, naturally the prosecution has much more to its case. We intend to prove the accused's appalling actions beyond all possible contention. To that end, I can confirm that we have multiple witnesses to the crime and damning evidence.
But if there was only 2 people in the shack, how do you have witnesses?
Exactly. The detective must have been maybe nearby, could have seen it. Maybe there was some perverts, like, looking at the bathing spot with binoculars or something. Maybe.
It was ouchy, wasn't it?
It was actually. One of the witnesses happened to be me. I happened to be there.
Witnesses? But who?
One of whom, I might add, is a highly respected police detective. Wonder if it's gonna be the guy who goes undercover, the coughing guy.
Yeah.
Well, Asogi,
still
I think his
alive?
name was. I hope so. But he went home to Japan. I hope it's Asogi.
Oh, yeah.
I assure you, the testimony of these witnesses will leave no room for doubt.
Ugh. Very well then, counsel. Bring forth your witnesses. Should we have a look at the picture before we...
Okay. We can maybe zoom in and magnifying glass a little bit. Is the swan okay?
Okay.
We're not sure. We're not sure yet.
So
See, I am really curious about that pen.
Yeah.
And apparently she was having a pen and a wine glass in her hands at the same time.
How
And the
many
wine bottle is also thrown up. And that is like multiple eye masks, I guess, maybe?
Because I guess this was her main one and she swapped them out depending how she felt.
depending on mood or whatever, yeah. Fancy place, honestly. Like for just a beach hut. You know, they've got like tablecloth and like a bucket with a... Is that like a champagne bucket?
Yeah.
Magnifying glass it a bit, if you can see.
The ice cubes and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Wouldn't that melt very quickly on a beach? Well, yeah, that's very fancy. Is there anything in the bag? No, nothing we can see. And then that one.
Hairbrush.
Brush, shoes,
some sort of bottle.
something. Probably poison. And then, yeah, more masks.
Dead.
What are the things on the sand? Those marks and stuff. Are that just footsteps?
Is it feathers from her?
From a swan?
Swan?
Maybe.
It's a few feathers and then, yeah, a few footsteps.
I wonder if we're going to go into, like, the mystery of her hat this episode.
I hope so.
I, Takatsuchi Ouchi, have been waiting for this moment.
Sorry?
Oh, yes. I haven't forgotten. That trial 9 months ago here in this very courthouse. When that irreverent little student boy utterly humiliated me. Goronosuke Naruhodo! What? Yes? I guess technically this is your voice now.
This insult to the Ouchi family name will never be forgotten.
Oh, Kazuma!
You've become conceited with age, Council, but the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that.
Alright, this is when he cuts his hair!
Oh, yeah.
So he has a that's why he has a new look now. Strike the head of a samurai whose top knot has been cut, and the bell of conjural enlightenment tolls. Yes, on that fateful day, my former self died.
Oh. The start of your own mini Meiji? Meiji?
Yeah, Meiji, I would say.
Revolution. Are you modernizing as well, Council?
Silence! Oh, God. Since I swore revenge back then, there has been a minor miracle atop my head. Observe the ouchy growth! You see this seed of hope sprouting forth from the barren expanse of my crown.
I think that tiny growth is trying to tell me something.
I'm afraid I can't really see. Where is the hope exactly? I said silence! Today, I face another yokel student of the Naruhodo clan. Well, I will vanquish you! And my victory will be fertilizer for the seed of hope atop my head. You have been warned. With that, the prosecution calls the witnesses to the stand. It looks like the stakes are high on both sides in this trial. He really wants his hair to grow back. The prosecution and defense each has much to lose.
A haircut is hardly comparable to Ray's life.
It's a Sogi! And what? Okay. Alright, you do a Sogi, I'll do Setsume.
I can't remember what voice I did for him.
I barely remember anything either. Witnesses, please state your names and occupations for the court.
Oh,
Wasn't he called a Sogi?
Maybe. Is this like... He has a tattoo on his head!
Yeah, that's lovely. I seem to remember him being called a Sogi. Is that not his name? Okay, it's Hosonaga apparently. Yeah, I like
Chief
it.
Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Imperial Police Bureau. I'm in disguise, obviously. Sorry, I can go undetected. So I can go undetected.
And the next big thing in books. An author renowned throughout the capital. In fact, yes, soon to be sold out. The satirical I Am a Cat, a sensational success, by Saseki Natsume. Oh god, that's a journalist.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe it was Kazuma who was called Asogi, actually. Kazuma Asogi was probably his name. Oh my god, I can't believe we've forgotten his name! Just because a man goes on holiday, we're not supposed to forget him.
Oh no.
Struggling student from the provinces, please. You needn't be in awe of me.
I needn't?
It's only natural that you'd feel nervous in my presence. But all of you, please relax. Call me Saseki, even.
Yes. What on earth is Saseki-san doing here?
Tread carefully, Susato. That author fellow knows you from your time in London, doesn't he? He exposes you for who you really are. This will be over before it's begun.
Yes, of course. I know. I presume Saseki-san won't have forgotten about me. I could certainly never forget him. Although he does seem to have changed somewhat.
Yeah, he seems very full of himself now, rather than being a nervous wreck. He's more like, I'm the best now,
Yeah. 6 months or so that it's been since I last saw him. And as for Inspector Hosonaga, that amazing outfit is hard to believe. Do I have something on my face? I can't think of a separate voice that isn't Cockney. There must be something else. It isn't Cockney or Judge or Van Seeks.
It's hard to figure out so many voices. It's the reason voice actors are paid well. Well, not that paid well. They should be paid more, but
You can see his little face now.
Yeah. The turtle is great.
What if the turtle and the swan become friends at the end?
Yes, that's our hope right now. That's what we're going for.
Well, your glasses for one, although they don't seem to be helping you see. Thank goodness he hasn't recognized me either. Ah, I suppose it's this disguise, is it? I thought that appearing here in the clothes I was wearing at the time would make for a more faithful testimony.
I don't know if that was necessary.
Is he doing the... What's that meme? With the guy and he flashes his glasses up his nose.
What meme? What meme is this?
Oh,
Have I missed out on this meme?
Kirsty knows what it is. She's remade it with her glasses before. I can't.
Okay.
I can't. Someone will know.
Someone
That's
explain
just
the meme to us.
anime cliche. Oh, okay.
Okay. Fair enough.
It is my guiding principle to carry out all testimonies flawlessly. Well, I can appreciate why an Imperial Police Bureau detective might have been present. But why did a business? But what business did a writer such as yourself have being at the scene, Saseki-san?
Well, you see, I had been asked that day to give a lecture. On the morning of the incident in the Imperial Yume University's Grand Lecture Hall, no less.
At Yume University?
After the lecture, I had a very pleasant conversation with a researcher from the Medical Science Department. The professor over there, in fact.
Was Professor Mikotoba?
Yes, that's right. I was arranged by one of the newspapers. They wanted some story or other about 2 former students who'd studied in Great Britain. Of course, being a renowned author, the press never leave me alone. They secretly spy, snapshot, scribble stories, and scupper my privacy. That guy is like smudged ink on his hand. It's great. I wonder if that's gonna be a character, if he's just gonna be in the background of Saseki the entire time.
What if he's actually like taken a photo of it?
Yeah, exactly. That's sort of the stuff I'm
It's in
thinking.
the background, yeah.
Yeah. As you can see, the conversation was written up in this newspaper here. Read at your leisure, my provincial struggling student friend. I have plenty of copies.
Thank you very much. He practically threw that paper at me.
It's like an estimate article. Anyway, following my interview with the professor, the lady in question appeared and made a very unexpected announcement. I should like to go with everyone to see your country's coast. Those were her words. As I explained before, Miss Brett was never taken into custody. She continued to work in my laboratory under strict surveillance, of course. At which utterance, the university immediately contacted the government to seek guidance. And the response was, permit Miss Brett to go as long as the detective accompanies her.
That detective I am at liberty to divulge was me. was me, Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga.
Thereby, the entire party departed cordially for the seaside, it seems.
It was extremely challenging to clear all other members of the public from the vicinity of the beach.
He still got the cough.
But fortunately, I am at peak physical fitness at the moment, so I was able
He's
to carry out.
How's he
my
not dead?
duty
He keeps
flawlessly. How
being at death's
do you
door.
have
And
any blood left inside of him?
yeah, I mean, what the hell?
I was able to carry out my duty flawlessly. Oh my, Inspector, you do have something on your face now. Oh, he's got a turtle towel. How
Fantastic.
unsightly. I do apologize. Does that mean that you went to the beach too, Father?
No. Fortunately, I had work to finish off. But unfortunately, of course, it meant that as my assistant, Ray was invited to take my place. Of course, being a renowned author, I didn't like to decline the invitation. But only if I had! I'd never have seen that awful sight! Relentlessly racked by remorse and regret.
Ravane says this must be the murderer because this is the ink from her pen that she died with.
Ah!
She was a blue-blooded English lady, so that might be her blood as well.
Also, he's using a pencil.
Oh yeah. So why does he have an ink stain? I think this guy is very.
And what are those scratches on his arm?
I think is that meant to be his hair? Is that meant to be arm hair?
Maybe.
I think it's this guy. He's
yeah,
right.
I'm legit sus about that.
I'm getting away with it.
I'm legit sus about that guy. Look how it's totally him. It's totally him.
Very well. I must now ask you to present your formal testimony to the court. You will give an account of all that you witnessed on your impromptu excursion to the coast.
Oh my god.
Of course, Your Excellency.
Relentlessly racked by remorse and regret I am. The witnessed
The
scene.
witness. On the day of the incident, I was ordered on a special surveillance assignment in this disguise.
I just managed to catch that crab when I said, what? He was hunting crabs? Okay. When I suddenly heard a caterwaul from behind me.
I ran into the beach hut at once, where I found
When he bumps up the glasses, the turtle does a little nod. Oh my god. Yes, yes, yes! That young girl was astride the Englishwoman, dagger in hand, as she stabbed wildly.
I saw blood on the blade. It proved to me that she had stabbed the victim multiple times. Wasn't it a single?
Single stab wound, exactly, yeah.
Indeed.
So that's weird.
It does appear from this. Hang on, I'm gonna check this where it says.
Exactly. Blah, 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 blah. A certain by examination, single deep stab wound from behind. Death would have occurred within minutes. An extreme meiosis pupil constriction was observed in the victim in both eyes. Okay. So constriction of it's if it's very dark. No, the other way around. It's Wagahai. If it's very bright, right? If it's very bright, your pupils constrict, right?
Yeah.
Because if it's very dark, they go small, I think.
Wait, your pupils. If it's dark, they go bigger.
If they go dark, they go bigger because you need to see more. Yeah. Because I remember when I took some eye drops after being at the optometrist or optician, eye doctor. They gave me these like dots, and it was like the brightest summer day in Sweden ever, and I could barely see as I was walking around. I had to go around like squinting my eyes for like hours. It was the worst.
Alex and I once we just happened to have eye problems on the same day.
Yeah.
We went to because he has like a ongoing thing, and I had this one-off thing, and they said for both of us come into the eye hospital in Bristol. So they diluted both of our pupils, and they went huge.
Yeah.
And then we were both trying to like book an Uber home, and we didn't see our phones, and we were just both sat on the curb outside the eye hospital, like holding our phones at arm's length, just like, "Can you book one?"
I don't see.
Are we
Where do
here?
I click? Where are we? Oh no.
We did manage to get home.
You got home eventually, thank God. Yeah. Wagahai is cute. It was lemon. The tongue is out.
Wait, why would Wagahai have been in Japan? Because he stayed
Yeah.
in England.
He was with us.
New kitty?
Maybe it's a new kitty. Maybe it's not Wagahai. Maybe it's a different kitty.
Who's this is the murderer.
This is the murderer. We found him. Yeah. And he's either Soseki is dabbing or he's doing a crazy karate chop to shut down Mikotova. Right to the throat.
Yeah.
I don't know what that stance is about personally, but yeah.
This
Maybe this is Wagahai Jr.
Kiton.
Yeah.
He took kittens with him in the credits of the first game. Okay.
Wagahai had a kitten. It was told during the credits. Yeah.
Kiton.
Yeah.
Does appear from his testimony that both witnesses here present saw it. The very moment of this heinous crime.
What? That's not how Highness is pronounced? I don't actually know.
Her Highness crime.
Her Highness. Heinous. I think it's heinous.
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 Oh.
No, it's heinous.
Heinous.
It's like penis, but heinous.
Heinous.
Heinous. Heinous crime.
Where's that coming from?
Oh, I googled it. I googled it. You were just like, what the hell was that? What?
Are you hearing this too?
Yeah. It's just when I parsec with you, you not only hear the window I'm sharing, you hear every sound, which is why you hear all my sound alerts and stuff. So, yeah. You immediately went to penis. Well, what else rhymes with heinous? Be honest. What else rhymes with heinous?
cleanest
Now,
windows in the street.
now, if you will recall, I promised evidence as well. What was that, sorry?
I don't remember which way I said it now to remember which way is right.
It's heinous.
Heinous. No, it is wait, which one is it?
Apparently, it was heinous. Yeah, heinous. I would have said heinous personally, but yeah,
Heinous.
but it is heinous apparently according to
Potato,
the lady on Google. Yeah, potato. What phrase did I use again? Ah, yes, that was it. Damning evidence. Venus. Okay, yeah, fine. Genus.
What have you there, Council? A so-called fountain pen, is it?
See? The turtle little nod as well. I mean, that makes sense because of the way... Like, of course it would flop its head a little bit, but still, it looks cute.
Correct, Your Excellency. I found it at the scene whilst examining the body. It appears that in her dying moments, with her final ounce of strength, the victim clutched a piece of evidence that would positively identify her killer. What?
Your Excellency, if you would cast your eyes over the photographic print of the crime scene once more...
She has a pen. Ah, goodness me. Enhance. Yes, the victim is clearly grasping something quite deliberately there in her hand. That's right, the fountain pen. I just entirely lost my voice for one word. The fountain pen. And if you would kindly examine the pen, Your Excellency. Ah! The owner's initials have been engraved in the ebonite barrel. R.M. Remember me. The initials of the defendant.
But what if it's...
Runescape Marahodo.
Yes! Or... Ruthless Murderer!
Bum bum bum. This fountain pen will be admitted immediately as critical evidence.
The fountain pen has been admitted immediately as critical evidence. So, have I admitted anything? Decisive testimony and damning evidence. There's a bright blue sky outside the courthouse today. Perfect weather to ascribe guilt, I feel.
Or innocence.
Yes. Oh dear.
I.
She's doing all the Runeska things.
The prosecutor Ouchie of 9 months ago had none of this man's poise.
He really has been reborn. Poise.
Was. Counsel for the defense, you may begin your cross-examination now. Is it bad that now, as I'm reading this, I'm looking at, like, possible starter words for Wordle? I'm like, poise, begin. I will make a note of these.
Yes, poise. Poise. A judge? Also,
Judge
yeah.
Naruhodo-san. Naruhodo. That means... Oh, yes, me. Is there another Naruhodo in my courtroom? Actually, there isn't even a single Naruhodo in your courtroom.
Cousin Ruitaro, pull yourself together, please.
All right, I've seen this countless times as a judicial assistant. Find inconsistencies in the witness's testimony to prove that they're lying somehow. That's all there is to it. That's how a real lawyer would handle a cross-examination. So let's see what I can do.
Here we go.
On the day of the incident, I was ordered on a special surveillance assignment in this disguise. Oh, I'm not crossing doobity.
Not crossing duty bee boo boo.
I never get to do this bit. What do I actually do? Oh, press Q.
Oh,
Hold
no,
it.
you're pressing statement 3 now, but all right, fair enough. Let's go.
Oh, am I? Oh, oops.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the statement? I don't know. Oh, wait, I can
Press
do the...
history.
History. I ran into
Yeah.
the beach hut at once where I found the pair in question. Okay. Wait, by pair, you don't mean to say, but how could that be? No, you misunderstand. Obviously, I mean the victim and the defendant, Ray Member-me-san. Oh, it would have been helpful if you could have just said that from the outset. If you jump to conclusions, you have to expect to fall flat on your face sometimes.
Dear me, pinning your hopes on such an outside chance? Foolish. Very foolish. Hopes? That's another wordle word.
Hopes? Word a word. It was really an outside chance. I just wish I'd realised that before I said something silly. Silly would be a bad
Also,
one.
it's a bad one, though.
Double
You
letter.
don't wanna-
That's
Yes, exactly.
tricky.
Yeah, but why is a good end word? End letter. So, Inspector, why don't you tell the court, how exactly you found the aforementioned pair in the hut? We can't do this for every 5-letter word.
Well, it was a sorry sight.
Sight?
Sorry.
Sorry? Scene?
Scene?
No, okay. Okay. That's it. We're stopping now. That's it.
A really grisly scene. I parted the Norrin curtain hanging in the doorway and stepped inside, only to see the defendant leaning menacingly over the lifeless body of the I said bodiless life. The lifeless
bodiless
body
life.
of the victim sprawled in the sand.
That's what ghosts have. Bodiless life. Oh, the turtle is bouncing up and down when he's coughing.
My glasses very nearly cracked at the ominous sight that met my eyes.
How thoroughly appalling.
He doesn't appear to be lying here. Well, Saseki-san, can you confirm what Inspector Hosonaga is saying, I wonder?
You'd like a literary man's opinion? Oh my god, he's gone so full of himself.
He has.
Alright, let's go back to the start and...
So how
check
do
out.
I... Because I pressed this before. Does that not go... No, that takes me to the end.
Can
How
you
do I
drag
get
me?
this?
I mean, I usually use controller, so I don't know.
Oh no, what have I done?
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no. Just have so many thoughts swirling around in my head. I do. I can just stand here wide-eyed and mute.
Goodness, my dear, you really must try to calm down.
But how am I supposed to find any inconsistency in what these two gentlemen are saying? I don't see why either of them would have any reason to lie.
What you must remember, I think, is that witnesses may inadvertently lie at times. For various reasons, a misunderstanding, a mistaken observation, a delusion, even.
Ah, a delusion.
What's important is that we determine the truth, and there's only one sure way to do that.
Yes, with evidence, of course.
Spoken like a true judicial assistant.
So can I go back to... Oh,
Yeah, you'll be able to go back. During a witness testimony, you can use E to pick up, or you can use RB
oh!
to pick a piece of evidence to present. So you need to listen carefully to each statement and compare what's said to the details in the court record.
Okay.
If you find some
Oh.
conflicting information, that may be the inconsistency you're looking for.
I know
like-
what it is. It's
Yeah,
the stabbing
it's the stab wound, but I like pressing anyway, just because you tend to get more details, and sometimes it's useful. But we could jump straight to that if you prefer. You're running the show now in this
Oh,
trial,
no.
so
Yes,
Yes.
it's all about inconsistencies.
once you've identified a witness's statement that appears to conflict with a piece of evidence, present the evidence to the witness with R, and the way ahead will present itself to you, I'm sure. And by R, I mean, I think you would have been RT or something. But yeah.
Yes, all right then. I'll consider the details of all the evidence in the court record against each statement to find an inconsistency. I hope I'm up to the task.
Don't forget that you can have the witnesses repeat their statements as many times as you like.
Nice.
Everyone has to start at the beginning, remember? So those wide eyes are quite forgivable. And besides, there's no one else to defend the poor girl.
You're right. I need to listen to the testimony again from the start. Okay, so this time... Right. On the day of the incident, I was ordered on a special surveillance assignment in this disguise.
Maybe it's like left and right? No? Maybe it's like... Oh, never mind. That's fine.
Hold it. In that jaunty disguise. Correct. Wait, no. I mean, it wasn't the first time I've worn this swimsuit for a dip in the ocean. It's tried and tested. Do what must be done to keep the English woman under surveillance. Those were my orders that day. And this tried and tested outfit was the answer. Being able to blend flawlessly into a crowd is an important part of a detective's job. I submerged myself in the salty water, leaving only Mr. Turtle floating inconspicuously on the surface.
Mr. Turtle!
Mr. Turtle loves the water.
Yes! Fantastic.
But there was no need for you to blend into the background on this assignment, really, was there?
If that made you late arriving on the scene, I think perhaps you had your priorities wrong.
Perhaps I shouldn't pursue this line of questioning any further at the moment.
Oh, Mr. Turtle. I just managed to catch that crab when I suddenly heard a caterwaul behind me.
Hold it!
Hold it. Ah, you're describing the victim's scream, presumably, Soseki-san.
In more literary terms, you might say it was a scream that could have pierced the heavens. Okay. or the like. Of course, that's just a metaphor. We renowned authors are wont to describe things so. Man, they're really using the word want a lot.
Yeah. Soseki-san wasn't at all like this in England.
Anyway, I spun around at the noise and the beach hut immediately fell under my gaze.
Yes, the beach hut. The area is popular with government ministers. Many have seaside retreats there for the rest and recuperation. Locals are prohibited from entering the area, so it's always very quiet. The beach hut is a simple structure erected as a place for people to change or take refuge from the sun.
Although, the English woman commandeered the hut for herself. Which meant that I was forced to change into my swimwear on the sand.
Ah, I imagine that was rather embarrassing for you.
Well, anyway, I tossed the crab aside and headed for the beach hut at a run. Okay. We went to catch a crab, caught it, and then just threw it away. Or, in more literary terms, I decrabbed and beetled off hutwise. What the fuck? This one we have already pressed, so we can go on to the next one. Yes, yes, yes! That young girl was astride the Englishwoman, dagger in hand, as she stabbed wildly.
Hold it!
Stabbed wildly? You actually saw her do it?
Oh, indeed. The terrible spectre, the terrapin inspector, the bloody torrent, the author's torment.
Yeek!
The terrapin inspector. That's good wordplay. Because terrapin means like turtley, and he's the inspector. And it was right after Terrible Spectre. He is an author, this guy. The terrible spectre, the terrapin inspector, the bloody torrent, the author's torment. Oh, he's got away with words, even though he's a bit cocky. Every sight and sound is still carved in my melancholy memory. That was my impression, at least, as a future literary sensation.
Wow.
Wow, you are okay. You are the worst now. Stop being so goddamn cocky. Counsel? What on earth was a shrill, effeminate scream?
Oh, no. What are you insinuating? I'm as manly as a Japanese man as you. Manly as... Yeah.
I wonder if I might interject here, Soseki-san. Something you said is troubling me. That was my impression. Were your words just now, I believe.
Ah, so do you mean to say you're not confident that you really did see what you've described?
He's back to that guy again. No, I mean, yes. I mean, I know what I saw. My ears didn't deceive me when I heard that scream. Hence, my eyes didn't deceive me either. I could describe everything I saw vividly. I could publish it all in tomorrow's newspaper serial. It sounds as though the next installment of I Am a Cat may take a macabre turn. I think this is a fool's errand. The more we press your author friend on what he saw, the more entrenched he's going to become.
Oh dear, how awkward. So this one,
Yeah.
I saw blood on the blade. It proved to me that she'd stabbed the victim multiple times.
So either we can present her immediately or just press first.
I'm pressing.
Okay.
She was stabbed multiple times. How can you be sure of that? Very simple. From the blood on the blade. The blood on the blade? Yes, the blood on the blade.
The blood on the blade? Yes.
The
Blood.
blood?
On the blade. On the blade, yes. That's the blood I'm talking about. I saw
When
the
I
defendant holding the blade. Oh, the bloody blade? Yes, the blade with the blood.
Blade with the blood on it. When I entered the hut, I saw the defendant holding the blade raised up in the air.
Yes, yes, that's right. I saw it too.
Oh. And I noted that there was blood on the blade already at that point.
Wait, blood on the blade?
In other words, the victim had already been stabbed at least once by the time I arrived on the scene.
With the blade. Yes, the bloodied blade.
Bloody blade.
Yes, yes, that's right. I saw it too.
And the victim was already holding the defendant's fountain pen in her hand too. All of which means I can be sure the victim did not die instantly. Well...
Yes, yes, right. Saw it too.
Maybe a year in London was too much for him. He sounds like he's forgotten how to speak Japanese.
The logic of your argument is sound, at least.
Well, as I said, it is my guiding principle to carry out all testimonies flawlessly. Perhaps it should have been your guiding principle to protect the victim flawlessly.
Oh, burn!
That's just my personal opinion, of course.
Oh, he's dying.
Pulling the old dying
The
card
old
again. I
dying in
see.
front of everyone. Yeah, classic, classic.
Counsel, you will refrain from mocking the witness.
All right, time to present.
So many thoughts. Okay, bleep blap bloop bleep bleep bloop bleep bleep bleep.
Blue, 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 delusion, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 present with R, yes, blah, 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 E, blah, 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 R, blah, 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 blah,
Blood on the
present.
blade.
Blah, 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 blood on the blade, blade with blood on it, blah, 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 yes, blade, blood, blood, not blade.
Okay. Here we go. Blah blah blip blip. Right. So, not this one.
Now, the very last one, I believe. And we're
Okay,
going to
so-
E.
E. E.
E. Da 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 E.
Present. Objection.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Oh. With that accusatory cry that just welled up from deep inside me, I think I finally understand. Every time Kazuma-sama and Naruhodo-san have stood here at this bench, the stakes have been very, very high indeed.
What? What's the meaning of that menacing pose, Counsel?
I'd like the witness to clarify something for me.
Who? What? Where? When? How?
Not you, Suzeki-san.
No.
This query
No,
is
no,
not
it's
you,
not you,
comma,
yeah,
Suzeki-san.
not you, Soseki-san. It's not you, Soseki-san. It's not you, Soseki-san.
This query is directed at Inspector Hosonaga. Query, funny enough, was actually my first Wordle guess today.
Yeah? Okay.
So,
I used to have my go-to words. Number one was anime, and then it was race. I
Gamer.
thought those were good. Gamer. But lately, I just sort of, when it's time, I just pick the first 5-letter word that come to mind that isn't dumb. Like, once Duncan typed in boobs, which is a horrible word to start with, but the word was boost, so he was actually super lucky. Like, amazing.
I keep getting it that I get really good ones really early on. And then I still take like 4 or 5 to get it. I get so overconfident when I see like 2 greens in the first one. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh! And then I'm
I've
like,
got
oh.
this. Well, there's something I find which is really frustrating. Like we've all done last days, I hope. Yeah. Where the word was mount, right? And I was like, okay, I've got O-U-N, like or O-U-N in the middle. You know, it's like, okay, this could be like a lot of things. I think my second guess was hound. So I had a lot. It's like, okay, it's almost certainly going to O-U-N-T. All right, here we go. Count. No. Okay. Fount. Oh, no. Mount. It took like 3 tries and it could have been the third one, you know? It's like, goddamn. You run into something like that. Where it's literally just like, all right, you have almost, at this point on, it's just guessing which of the first one it is. So.
Alex always starts with train.
Train isn't bad either.
I think because
The reason
it
I
has,
liked anime and race is because of 3 vowels. So.
well, apparently train is like the 5 of like the 7 most used letters or something. So
Yeah, they're good.
Whereas I
train is
just like
reason-
to, whatever pops into my head, I'm like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go with this. And
Yeah,
today
exactly,
I felt
same.
daring, so I went with query, and I was
Yeah.
like,
Q obviously not so common, but U, E, R, Y are all good because Y is a common end word. So yeah. You start with bears, that works too.
bears,
Bass,
bears.
bears. You know, roar, 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 not look, 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 look. Well,
At me. In your statement just now, you said that the victim was stabbed multiple times. Yes, that's right.
right.
As I said when I entered that, the defendant was already standing over the victim, bloody knife in hand, like a murderous.
You mean blade? There's a blade? Okay, we
There's a
have to stop looking at
blade.
500 words. We said we were gonna stop. Damn.
And yet, that cannot be. What? Get to the point, please, counsel.
She has the book.
It must be a new book.
Yeah,
What-
because we gave the old book to Ryunosuke, so.
Yeah. In the post-mortem report, it clearly states that the victim was stabbed 1 time only. Ah.
Oomph.
In other words, Inspector Hosanaga's testimony is clearly flawed.
Oh, she got the big zoom point.
And Saseki-san,
Me?
you claim to have seen the member.
Just think of
Remember
her.
me.
Honestly, what helped for me was always think of it as remember me. You know,
Remember me.
and then
Remember me.
once you know that, you just get remember me easy after that. So yeah.
In the throes of stabbing the victim.
Yes, I did. Wildly.
But both you and the inspector confirmed the same point. That there was already blood on the knife that you saw the defendant holding. Yes, and? It's quite simple. We know the murder weapon was used to stab the victim only once. Therefore, there is no way there could have been blood on the knife if that single stabbing hadn't already occurred.
Aha! True.
Then what exactly is your contention, Counsel? Are you ever going to tell us? Yes, Your Excellency. There is only one logical conclusion. What Saseki-san in fact saw was not the moment that the defendant stabbed the victim at all, but the moment that the defendant in fact withdrew the blade from the victim's body.
That can't. You know, here's what I always wonder, right? We go into all these things and we gradually figure out what actually happened. And it's like, why don't we just ask the witness, like the defendant, to tell their version of the story of exactly what happened, right? She could have told us, like, so here's what happened. I went in, I saw someone else kill him, and then I pulled out the blade. And we would have saved like 20 minutes, like at least, if we just heard, like, I pulled out the blade after seeing it, you know?
Yeah.
And this is common over all Phoenix Wright, I think. Like, you get the very basic of it in the beginning, but mostly it's, I didn't do what I promised. And then it's like, all right, but you were clearly in a very, like, suspicious
compromising position.
And a lot of things did. So how about you tell me exactly what happened so I know what to tell people actually happened and I have something to work towards proving, rather than trying to figure out lately, aha, that must have been you withdrew it. And it's like, that would have been so helpful to know.
Yeah.
Excellent work, Susato. You exploded at them without objection and then proceeded to pull them apart systematically. Objection! Well, this takes me back. Yes, I seem to remember your cousin staged a scene much like this in that trial 9 months ago. A half-witted child with a half-baked objection attempting to steal the show. You're right, there were certain similarities. Except that so-called half-witted child managed to outwit the prosecution, who was only half a head of hair. Wow! Wow, they're really burning him for his hair. It's not his fault.
No.
Jesus. First of all, he had some hair in the first place, but he was balding, sure. And then Kazuma just katanaed his head off, and that's apparently fine. And now you're mocking him. To be fair, he was weird about his seed of hope growing. That was weird, but yeah.
There's so many things that about him just being a butt that they could focus on instead.
Yeah, exactly.
Sander, my head is quite adequately dressed. In any case, all this talk of stabbing and withdrawing and multiple wounds, it makes not a jot of difference.
He sort of does.
It makes a bit, yeah.
Gunshot, stab wound, I don't, whatever.
Something happened, I don't know what.
What? Why not?
Engage your brain, young man. When the accused first plunged the deadly weapon into the victim, it was the fatal blow. And it was that moment, just as she had withdrawn the blade, ready for her next strike, that the witnesses saw. The knife was already tainted with blood, because the accused had already stabbed the victim.
Bum, bum, bum.
To be fair, that is a good counter.
Yeah. She was sort of sat over a victim with a knife.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you have successfully shown with your little display is that the mustached author is prone to moments of extravagance, which is very true.
I am in agreement with the prosecution. If the defendant was seen wielding the blade at all, that is sufficient grounds for her actions to be viewed with suspicion.
Sure, but not sufficient to prove her guilty.
But what if she was withdrawing the blade?
Then we are back where we started.
Sorry?
Consider this, young yokel boy. If the student girl is innocent, as you claim, then why would she have pulled the blade from the victim? And with a demon's cold-blooded composure, too? The prosecution demands an explanation, and it had better be good.
Why did Ray pull out the knife?
Ah, yes, going for the jugular.
What does Father mean by that? Let the court hear your answer then, counsel. The truth is, I don't really know. But I have to come up with a plausible reason here. We don't have a case. The reason why the defendant pulled the knife blade out of the victim's body was surely so she could...
I mean, it has to be
Stab
save her
her
life.
again!
It has to be save her life, surely. Like, the other, I mean, she might not like Giselle Brett, but I don't think she wanted to stab her again. And why would she bother hiding the knife? Like, well, I mean, okay. But basically, 1 and 3 implies she is evil or guilty in some way. And we're assuming she isn't, so it has to be 2.
According to the post-mortem report, the victim's death was not instant. That's correct. It's thought she would have remained conscious for a short while after sustaining the injury.
Indeed. Giving her the time to take hold of this piece of evidence that clearly indicates her killer.
The point is, being a medical research assistant, remember me, Sam, was compelled to act when faced with the wounded victim. Instinctively, she pulled the blade out in an attempt to save Miss Brett's life.
They don't seem impressed.
We've fallen asleep.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, what were you banging on
What?
about?
Did you hear that, Your Excellency? It would seem this is the best we can expect of this young yokel.
Indeed. Is it just me, or does it suddenly feel much colder in here? Your Excellency, if I may. Speak, witness. I would like another opportunity to testify. In respect to the slipshod assertions just put forward by the local defense counsel, I mean.
Oof.
Slipshod?
An excellent idea, Inspector. Our young yokel hopeful has a modicum of knowledge when it comes to the law, it seems. But in matters of medicine, he appears to possess not one iota of common sense. The idea being pulling the knife out is not good for saving lives, I guess.
Yeah, push it in further. That's
Yeah.
what
But then, I mean, yeah, like, obviously she's not medically trained, so that's not that weird that she might make that mistake.
Very well, Inspector. I will permit your request.
Either way, this led to another testimony, so.
That's true. You will testify again before the court on the subject of the defense counsel's assertion. We never looked at the pen, I just realized. Oh.
Oh, we can't zoom in closer. Okay.
Yes, sir. I will do so flawlessly. Pew, pew.
Forensic medicine primer.
Ooh. Pulling a blade from a wound without thinking could cause heavy bleeding. That's basic knowledge that any medical research assistant with an ounce of sense ought to know. In other words, there's no good reason why the defendant would have tried to pull the knife from the victim. Let's not forget that the young student did have a motive for killing the victim. The man the victim murdered 9 months ago, Dr. Wilson, was the defendant's highly respected mentor. Is what you just said true, Inspector? Could pulling a knife from a wound really cause the wound to bleed heavily? Yes, think of the weapon itself as a stopper in the wound that prevents excessive blood loss. Until a doctor is ready to provide proper treatment, that stopper shouldn't be removed. Oh, I see.
Ha! This is why yokels should stay on the farm. Even a quack from some obscure mountain village would have such basic knowledge. Anyone who's ever given someone a little poke with a knife and pulled it out again. Wait a minute. What? No sense.
Oh, we've all stabbed someone.
We've all done a little bit of stab,
you've
you
been
know.
there. Oh, well, I've never stabbed anyone, you see. Or pulled a blade out of a wound, so...
Of course you haven't. I didn't bring you up to behave like a bandit.
Father, is it true, what they're telling me?
Yes, it's basic remedial knowledge for medics. Ray would have been well aware of it. If she were to claim ignorance of such fundamentals, that would prove fatal in many ways.
But then, why would Ray have done it? Could she have pulled out that knife in full knowledge that it would be fatal for Miss Brett?
I don't know.
Ray never once mentioned anything about the knife to me.
Yeah, what did she mention to you? Like,
That you were handsome and she was
yeah,
fat.
gallant, yeah.
That was about it.
Pretty much.
It seems almost impossible to believe, but could my friend actually have...
Susato,
Yes?
pull yourself together. We mustn't lose sight of why we're here.
Ah. Council, it's time
It's time to do the double cheek slap, you know?
Oh, yeah. It's time for your cross-examination. Oh, yes, Your Excellency. However, I must warn you that if your cross-examination fails to identify any issues with the established facts, I will be moving to my
Oh, boy.
adjudication immediately afterwards. Bum, bum,
boy.
bum. I understand. Believing in your client and fighting for their cause until the bitter end. I knew it would be hard, but I had no idea it would be this hard.
Yeah!
Boop, boop, boop,
Thank
boop.
you, Waka, for subscribing.
Pulling a
Bring a
blade
blade.
from a wound without thinking could cause heavy bleeding.
Hold it! Hold it!
You say doing it without thinking could be a problem. Does that mean if you use due care and attention, it would be all right? I wouldn't have thought this needed spelling out, really, but he's stroking the turtle.
Mr. Turtle.
Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. The blade is like a stopper in the wound. Remove it and a serious hemorrhage will occur. Because what a messy word. Hemorrhage. Who gave that all the letters?
Hemorrhage.
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 In other words, a medic would need to be present before any attempt was made to withdraw the blade. Doing it without thinking would be madness. You just can't do it. Oh, well, thank you for such a thorough explanation.
You see, Council, when you act without thinking, the result is a bloodbath.
Ugh. Back to the witness testimony, please. That's basic knowledge that any medical research assistant with an ounce of sense ought to know. In that case, there's an obvious explanation here. Which is... Clearly, the defendant, remember me, San, does not possess an ounce of sense.
Yes, this is the hill. This is how we're doing this. Act. Oh, oh God.
She dumb. This is our defense.
Perfect timing. That's the, yeah, that's perfect timing. Thank you, Waka, for gifting a bunch of subs. That's very cool of you. Thank you. And also, I have no idea what you're referencing. I will ask you later. But thank you. That's such a good timing. This is like the Korok shot all over again, honestly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
What do you think about that, Professor Mikotoba?
I'm not sure that you should be labeling your best friend as lacking common sense.
Well, I thought it would be better than labeling her as a murderer.
I don't know. Young people today, if that's friendship, I don't understand it. Oh, that's a big-ass house.
Oh, careful, Counsel. A lack of common sense can be a very dangerous thing. Oh dear. That recorded on me rather badly.
It did indeed. Let me just update.
Wait. Oh,
Because the mouse has disappeared for you.
he hates. That's the tune that plays in Ray's brain at all times. It is.
Yeah, it is. That's true.
You holding the knife, Ray? Sorry, what?
Yeah. All right, we're good to go. That's life, I'm afraid. A lesson everyone must learn.
I just got a follow from Momo Juice. Thank you. It just reminded me that I had a dream this morning that I had a dog. I had a cockapoo, and
it was named Momo.
His name was Momo.
Oh wow!
So weird. I wrote, like the last thing I did before I woke up, I kissed Momo on the head, and I was just like, "Love you, Momo," and then I woke up.
And there was no Momo when you woke up. That's so
we
sad.
had no Momo.
There was no Momo. That's so sad. Everyone deserves a Momo.
Momo. Hopefully, you can see now that this is really basic medical knowledge. Being involved in medical research, Member-me-san would certainly have been aware of it. In other words, there's no good reason why the defendant would have tried to pull the knife out of the victim, is it? Wait, have I?
No, this is... We haven't pressed this yet.
But the defendant had suddenly encountered somebody she knew lying on the ground, bleeding to death. The sight could have shocked her delicate sensibilities, causing her to remove the blade inadvertently. I really don't think inadvertent actions can explain this. The woman is a medical research assistant. I can't imagine she would behave so irrationally. I was waiting for this. Oh, but irrational behavior is a woman's prerogative, isn't it?
What? That guy, Rutaro, he's such a misogynist, honestly.
I know.
He has a lot to learn about women. Yeah.
You have a lot to learn about women. Only a small-minded man could have such a bigoted views. Oh dear. Perhaps I'm letting my male persona take hold a little too much.
Oh, this is so good.
Well, have I managed to convey the basics now? That should cover the medical side of the argument. Let's not forget that the young student did have a motive for killing the victim. Hold it.
Hold it.
Whatever the motive, it just isn't Member-me-san's nature to do something so awful. But she has both motive and opportunity. That's very hard to argue against.
Yeah.
But you don't know the defendant.
And neither do you, you random cousin. And you, counsel, do not appear to know the law. Or is it motive, means, and opportunity, right? That's what it is. And kind of, she had all three.
Yes, evidence is the only way to convince the court of your argument, not feelings.
With this fledgling to defend her, I would almost say I pity the accused. Or I would, if she wasn't clearly a brutal murderer. Which she clearly is. Your Excellency, let's go ahead and make her guilty right now, please. Yes, good.
Just do it. Just do it.
Just do it now, right now.
Inspector, you will reiterate your point about the defendant's motive, please. Ah, yes. Miss Brett was in many ways a sworn anemone.
Anemone.
She was a sworn anemone.
Sworn anemone.
Of Remember-me-san.
The fish thing, the anemone. Anemone. Yeah, it's just anemone, yeah.
The man the victim murdered 9 months ago, Dr. Wilson, was the defendant's highly respected mentor.
Hold it!
Well, yes, that's true. Dr. Wilson recognized Member-me-san's talent and offered her the position of assistant despite her being a woman.
A woman?
She was extremely grateful to him. Yes, the Englishman appears to have been a very broad-minded individual.
Dr. Wilson had no time for outdated traditions. He met with opposition, of course, but he believed firmly in Member-me-san's abilities.
And then he got murdered by a woman, so where did that get him?
Just goes to show you can't trust them.
All
women are evil. Yeah.
Clearly the defendant was in the man's debt, which only serves to prove my point.
Alright, we're gonna need to do some presenting here.
This is hopeless. I can't find a single crack in this testimony anywhere. If Frey knew that withdrawing the knife from the wound would threaten Miss Brett's life further, I just can't think of any way to explain why she did it.
Susato, it's at times like these when it's especially important to remember the fundamentals.
The fundamentals?
Evidence is what counts in the courtroom, isn't it?
Of course, but I've been through the court record dozens of times already.
Yeah, we've definitely looked dozens of time. I think perhaps you're forgetting something, though. You needn't take the evidence at face value. You can and must examine it in greater detail, too.
Okay.
I realize this is your first time playing the role of lawyer in the courtroom. So if you need reminding of the rudiments, you need only ask. I'll do my very best to help.
Examine the evidence in the court record? It's an idea, certainly, but what should I do? I know what to do.
I know what to do.
Okay.
Come to think of it.
Kazuma-sama.
Kazuma-sama. Oh, you're the voice. I don't know why I think I'm suddenly doing the voice.
And
Yeah.
Naruhodo-san were always turning evidence over and over in their hands. Yes, I need to examine things in greater detail with space.
Space. By the look in your eyes, you remembered about space. Yes. I can see it's coming back to you. Make sure to use space. Go through the court record again and have a thorough look at everything with space. You may just find a clue with space.
Yes, I'll do it straight away. Okay, so...
Let's take a look.
Wait, I have to present.
You can present first, I think. I think it's okay. 'Cause I think we have time to... If you present, you go in there. And then as long as we don't do press R, we're okay, I think.
Okay.
I think we've checked this one.
Yeah, there's nothing else we can learn from this. Can we look at the pen now? Is that...
Oh,
okay. If we take off the pen's lid... then it has not got a lid on it. Perfect. Now let's unscrew the barrel, shall we?
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's empty. This must be the little reservoir that holds the ink.
Yes, you fill it by drawing ink from a bottle up through the nib. You might say it nibbles on the ink.
Is something wrong, Father?
Just that there doesn't actually appear to be any ink in there, that's all.
Oh yes, you're right. It's pretty much empty. Well, it could be on the verge of running out, I suppose. Okay.
Okay. How does that help us at all? Can we check the RM? Just see if they say something?
The RM initials are very clearly engraved here.
And the fact that Miss Brett was clinging to this pen in her dying moments is very clearly a message too.
To identify her killer, you mean?
I don't think there can be any doubt that this is a key piece of evidence in this case. It has to do... It's the reporter! He had so much ink on his hand!
Yeah, and his name's probably like...
Read more. His name is Read More.
Read more
Yeah.
papers.
Yeah,
Oh.
Read More Papers. It's his name, yeah.
There's some sort of emblem here, look. But it isn't the Yume University one.
It must belong to some other organization, such as perhaps the newspaper!
Wasn't this on his armband? The newspaper guy.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
It is that guy.
It is him! We knew we are so good at this game. We knew immediately it was him. A business of some kind. But that would seem to imply that the pen doesn't in fact belong to Ray.
Okay.
Okay.
So...
Alright. Can we... I don't think we can... Can we examine anything more in the newspaper? I don't think so.
No.
And this is just magnifying glass stuff, so this doesn't really help.
in this. Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, okay.
Raucous England returnees tell all. Is this interview with you and Saseki-san, is it, father? Meow.
Yeah.
It looks as though it was quite an exchange.
Yes, he became a little overanimated when he was talking about his time in England. The photographer managed to capture this moment. His hand karate chopped me on the neck. Ah!
I do hope you weren't hurt.
Okay, can we see anything else? Or backside, maybe?
Oh? This is the newspaper from Saseki-san. There seems to be an important article on the back page as well. Exclusive! Deadly poison stolen from Yume Medical Research Laboratory. From Yume's Medical Research. Father, isn't that your lab?
What the? Let me see that. That the poison's been stolen?
It's this morning's paper that Saseki-san gave us. Are you saying you didn't know?
As embarrassing as that is for the head of the laboratory, I didn't. I've not heard any such thing. Where on earth could the reporter have gleaned this information?
Because he
Well,
stole it and did
He
the
stole
murder.
it himself!
Oh. Come to think of it, there was no article mentioning the story in our paper this morning, was there?
It's a highly toxic poison we've been working on in the strictest confidence. I put Ray in charge of the project. So, Shaskor in chat saying, will we get a chance to do a Susato takedown on someone else as Susato? I hope so. I'd put Ray in charge of the project.
Ray, she was managing it?
If what's written here is true, it means that she tried to hide the theft from me. And moreover, the details were leaked somehow.
I don't believe it.
We need to read this article very carefully. The poison article.
Okay.
Right, does that mean... Can we go in and inspect the poison article now? I think we probably can. Yeah. Following a lecture at Yume by Suzuki Natsume on the 11th of August, it's come to light that a very disturbing incident took place. A deadly poison being secretly developed in the university's forensic science laboratory was stolen. Even the smallest amount entering the body, either via the mouth or via a wound from a poison-laced blade with the blood on it, blood on the blade, could prove fatal in minutes, which is also how long it took for her to die. Current methods cannot detect the newly developed chemical. Aha! The university would have to be consulted. Onset of symptoms occurs in minutes, starting with impaired breathing and ending with acute contraction of the pupils prior to death. Such symptoms would be suggestive of this toxin. It is apparently an entirely new synthesis of alkaloids and rumored to have been commissioned by the military. Dun 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 dun.
So the poison was on the blade, and that's why she tried taking it out to stop it.
To stop it being revealed from, oh shit, she was poisoned, you know? That's why she took it out, so that people wouldn't know about the poison, or proof about the poison thingamajig. Okay, alright, right.
So
which statement do we press? Okay, yeah, she wouldn't do that, yeah, that seems fine. There's no good reason, that's the one. That's the one. So if we present the poison article, I think.
Objection!
Objection!
No, there is one possibility. One very good reason why the defendant might have decided to withdraw the knife from the victim's wounds.
Your
What?
Honor, she didn't stab her. She killed her with poison. Wait.
I rest my case.
Yeah. Ha! The yokel not only has a poor grasp of the law, but is also a poor loser.
Says the person who has reinvented himself because he lost the case.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I'm a new person now, with a seed of hope on my head. Like, what the fuck? Tell us then, what possibility do you think you've identified?
It's here, in this newspaper article. An article about a deadly poison having been stolen from a laboratory in the Imperial Yume Unique.
The victim perished from a stab wound. Poison has no relevance in this case.
But, Prosecutor Ouchie, you will let the defense speak.
But a newspaper article, the court cannot rely on the kind of hearsay those wretched publications carry.
Counsel for the defense. I am going to need some tangible basis for your claim. You will indicate to the court precisely what part of the newspaper article mentioned affirms your assertion.
Your Excellency.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Ray would never have done something to further endanger Miss Brett's life without just cause. The reason why the defendant pulled the knife from the victim's body is explained in the article where it says...
Probably why the poison is being developed, I think.
By the...
Go into court record. Let's double check the parts. So probably wouldn't. It's not this one, I don't think.
Even the smallest amounts? Could it be the deadly in tiny quantities?
Maybe the
that
next
has
one.
poison displayed
Yeah,
in it.
that's true.
I
See,
think
I
there's
was
just-
thinking it's maybe this one because it talks about acute contraction, and well, no, because this might be later on. They might ask us to something. Well, what's the proof? And then like, aha, acute contractions. So maybe it is the second one then, because it's like, yeah. Okay, we'll try that.
The article reveals the following property about the poison in question. When the toxin enters the body on the knife laced with the poison, it's rapidly absorbed and causes death in minutes. Are you suggesting if the knife used to attack Miss Brett was laced with this very poison, it would explain why the defendant, Member-me-san, would have withdrawn the blade as soon as possible? Yes, the truth is, it was an attempt to stop the poison from entering the victim's body.
Ooh.
What?
This is complete and utter nonsense. Duncan just beat my time by 2 seconds on Warwick.
2
Well,
seconds?
time to get to work, I guess. To beat
Okay,
him.
bye everyone, bye!
See you, bye. It's Mario Kart time.
Not at all. The defendant withdrew the knife blade from the victim's body not to accelerate the woman's demise, but to save her life, and the prosecution cannot deny the possibility.
Have you not read the post-mortem report? The cause of death was hemorrhage. The word poison appears nowhere in the document.
Because it's untraceable, forehead.
Exactly. No one knew about it.
Well, that's because by acting quickly to remove the blade, the defendant prevented the poison from taking hold.
Oh, please. This is clearly desperation. The weasel's last breaking of wind. Just don't call it a weasel fart. What the hell? Poison has nothing whatsoever to do with this case, as I believe the defense is well aware. We have no proof that the information in this wretched newspaper article is at all reliable anyway.
In that situation, what the student should have done is wait for medical assistance to arrive. But instead you claim she suspected poisoning and took the potentially lethal decision to remove the blade? She must have had a strong reason for her suspicions then, or the argument makes no sense.
Exactly. Well put, Inspector. On what grounds did she do it, yokel?
Eyes. Why did Ray suspect the stolen poison was involved?
Maybe she had seen the reporter there or something.
If you want grounds, I'll give you grounds. What?
You can't possibly.
From your expression, Counsel, it would appear that those are not empty words. But naturally, as you stand in this courtroom as a lawyer, you must be aware that words alone, empty or not, are of no value in our modern justice system. The court demands evidence. Yes, Your Excellency, I am well aware of that. I've seen it many times, from my place at his side in the Old Bailey. In that case, Counsel, you will present the proof to the court now. What evidence demonstrates a clear link between this case and the poison in the newspaper article? So, we have that...
The pen, maybe.
Well, could it be that it's this?
Oh yeah, it's probably the pupil constriction. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I guess we link the post-mortem report because we can't link the newspaper article because we've already had that. Like they're
Yeah.
asking about what links it to the. So yeah, let's link the post-mortem report.
I would ask the court to refer to the notes section of the post-mortem report, which reads, extreme meiosis, pupil constriction, was observed in the victim. Ah! Clearly, being a yokel with no knowledge of forensic science, I have no idea, so please, do tell me. Presumably, the fact that this condition of the victim was noted in the post-mortem report means that it's an unusual symptom of death.
Well,
Under normal circumstances, the pupils dilate when someone dies. If there was extreme constriction instead, that's most certainly unusual, yes.
what are you doing, you yokel detective?
Everyone's a yokel. In the newspaper article, there's the following information about the stolen poison. Onset of symptoms occurs in minutes, ending with acute contraction of the pupils prior to death.
What?
If the defendant, upon seeing the victim stabbed in the back, happened to notice that the pupils of Miss Brett's eyes are constricted severely,
Yes, as a medical research assistant, she would have suspected poison immediately, without doubt.
Prosecutor Ouchie, I think you'll agree. This is a very compelling evidence.
You yokel student and yokel professor! Everyone's yokel.
I believe the defense has expertly demonstrated a credible reason for the defendant's actions.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
No. Yes. Eugen Mikatoba,
Yes, Your Excellency.
I believe you are best placed here to confirm or deny the veracity of the defense counsel's argument. You will tell the court the truth about the details reported in this newspaper, please.
It pains me to have to admit it, but I'm afraid I don't know.
You don't know?
The toxin was kept under lock and key in my laboratory, certainly, but I was unaware of any theft.
Do you mean to tell the court that the reports of this theft are unfounded?
No, Your Excellency. Without returning to the laboratory to investigate myself, I couldn't say. Ah! Listen to the bumbling academic. Unaware of theft of secret state research from his own workplace until he reads of it in the newspaper. I take full responsibility for the incompetence of my supervision.
Father.
Bing, bing, bing. Hello, Duncan. Welcome to the Ace Attorney stream. I've heard the result already. So you know, now I know my next goal to improve by at least 2 seconds, which, let's be honest, isn't gonna be that hard, is it? So soon enough, you'll be back in your proper place below me. But thank you for the raid. Thank you very much. Welcome to Ace Attorney. A pitiable situation for a university professor. You should have more control over your students rather than allowing them off on killing sprees.
That's totally unfounded.
Hold it.
Oh?
Who holded it? Was it Ray? It was probably Ray. It was Ray! None of this is Professor Mikatoba's fault. It's all my fault.
Ray. Remember me, San. You stand accused here. Outbursts like this will not be tolerated.
But it was me. I was the one who noticed that the poison we were developing had been stolen that day.
What? So you knew?
I'd been placed in charge of overseeing the project. It was the day that the professor and Suseki-san were interviewed together for the newspaper. That's when I noticed that some of the poison was missing. Just a tiny amount it was. Enough to fit inside a pen?
Why didn't you let me know immediately?
I was scared. The whole project was supposed to be confidential, but some of the toxin had somehow been taken. So, I decided I'd try to get it back before anyone else found out. Because I had a very good idea who the thief was.
The thief? You don't mean...
Yes, of course. It was that dainty English woman. Ugh, don't you just hate dainty English women?
Miss Giselle Brett?
That's why I decided to join the little group of people going to the seaside. Inside the beach hut, I confronted Miss Brett. She just sat on a stool at the back of the hut, smiling sweetly at me as if she knew she was untouchable. I knew it was you who stole the poison. Well now, whatever do you mean? And then... she suddenly got to her feet. Before falling to her knees in front of me and then collapsing on the floor. That's when I saw the knife in her back. She stabbed from the outside of the tent on the back, because she was sitting like at the very back, leaning. Someone could have stabbed her through the tent.
Oh.
The reporter.
Yeah.
Couldn't understand what had just happened. And then, a moment later, I was seized with fear. The pupils of her eyes they'd shrunk to tiny pinpoints.
I don't believe it.
In other words, you realized that the victim was suffering the effects of the stolen poison.
My mind started racing. I hadn't seen anything past Miss Brett's lips whilst I had been with her. You had to say whilst, didn't you? She left only one possible way for the poison to have entered her body.
Through the swan.
Through the turtle.
On the blade of the knife in her back. And that train of thought was what spurred you to withdraw the blade.
Yes, if the amount that had entered her bloodstream was small enough, she might still have had a chance. That's what I hoped. Really, I'm so sorry for staying silent all this time.
It's our fault for never actually asking what happened.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that no one asked, you know?
That would have been very helpful if you told us earlier. About 2 hours
why
ago.
Did you never actually ask the person who was there?
That seems like it would be quite useful.
Your attempt to hide the truth of what happened is not something that can be overlooked. However, I have duly noted the courage with which you confessed in the end.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
It's barely perceptible, but I do think the balance has shifted a little here in this courtroom now.
Objection!
Objection! Your Excellency, do not be deceived. The victim just collapsed before your eyes, you say? Well, Memami-san, if that is the case, perhaps you could explain how Miss Brett came to be stabbed. Well, you have no answer because the simple truth is that you stabbed the victim motivated by revenge.
Objection!
But you have no conclusive evidence to prove that assertion, do you?
Oh, I have evidence, and it is very much conclusive. We have started using fingerprints
fingerprint technology. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they have it. Probably not.
What's the prosecution counsel up to? It was brief, but he hesitated for a moment there. I'm almost sure of it. You will produce the aforementioned evidence at once, said Professor. Prosecutor out to you.
Perhaps some praise is due, young yokel student.
What?
I had imagined there would be no need for me to submit this evidence. But you've brought this on yourself.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. This means there was a hole in the beach hut. Otherwise, you couldn't have gotten this photo on this angle. And this photo being here in the first place means that someone was there at the time of the knife being pulled out. Which means it's the goddamn reporter. We know it's him. Get him on the stand. He'll crack under our interrogation. We'll get him.
Yeah. I'm confused.
About?
Is that a knife she's holding? Almost just looks very cylindrical. I was like, is that the
Is
pen?
that the
Was that
pen? But
like an antidote in the pen or something? that she
it
was-
probably is the knife. It's just like a bit weirdly drawn, I guess.
Could a more damning shot exist? The cruelty in the air on that beach is almost palpable.
This evidence, more than any other, reveals the true extent of the accused's murderous nature. For it shows the precise moment that Mamami-san plunged her dagger in the victim's back. No, that's not true. No!
I don't believe it. Ah! I mean, ah!
Manly scream! Oh no!
Order! Counsel for the defense. Was it you who was responsible for that shrill scream that just missed my courtroom?
No, it was someone else.
Perhaps his voice is yet to break. These yokels are slow of mind and slow to mature.
It's probably just some boy who hasn't passed puberty.
I'll show you who's slow to mature.
Careful now. Susato is starting to show her face here.
It is often said that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and here we have ample proof. The court will accept this extremely cogent photographic print as evidence.
Cogent is like good or clear or, you know, useful, like in that regard. Like, let's get an actual definition. Let's see what we can find. Dictionary dict cogent. Cogent. Valid. Convincing. Compelling. Okay, yeah. So, okay, first of all, question: why the stab? If she's already on the ground, why have the hand on the knife? You know, like,
Yeah.
surely if like the stab that made her fall, that would have been, you know. Also, where is the hole in the hut on this
That's what
picture?
I'm trying to work out. Like, if she's here,
Yeah,
was it taken?
this must have been taken much later, I guess. And then they fixed the hole. Yeah, there is a small slit, but is that a slit that can be like open entirely? You see right behind the chair? Right there. So maybe that one can be pulled open to like get a better angle for the stab, maybe. I guess it must be. But I gotta say the angle doesn't feel directly behind on that picture, but maybe that's just like visual. That feels like it's a little bit from the side, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, because we have part of the wall, so that doesn't seem to be directly, because we're not seeing it directly from behind. It's from like the right side of the wall. If you look, it'll be like right next to the dress. Actually,
Yeah.
that's roughly where the hole would be. Like around there somewhere.
Just don't imagine if you do look and there are just two little feet. The girl just like, no. Yeah, it must be from the angle of the dress.
Yeah,
like-
that's all I can think of. Let's look at the other picture again. So we see.
'Cause
It
this
looks
is
like it's
like
wood. Like wood has been bent. It looks like. Yeah.
Like are these all like
Maybe that is literally behind the dress, and we just don't see it on the photograph because the dress has been put in the way. Maybe the dress has been moved to block the hole. So the stab was coming from the slit in the wall behind, and then this has been to get a good picture, maybe. Yeah, this is the first time we're seeing Giselle Brett's eyes, although they are closed. We're barely seeing her face at all, really, without her mask, but yeah.
I was curious because I'm assuming I was wondering if this was meant to be taken by the reporter, so I wanted to see if it had the crack as well. Because I'm assuming
Yeah.
that is a broken.
Broken.
lens.
Well, yeah. Is that how it works? There's a crack in the glass. Does the yeah? I guess it would be yeah. That's something. So eventually we'll talk to him and interrogate him, and we'll see the
Get
camera.
another picture or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll see, aha, it's a crack. It's definitely him. Definitely him. And his name is Read More Newspapers. Is
It's
his name.
Reporter Man.
Reporter Man, also possibly, yeah.
Because I'm looking at this like, is this what she's holding in that picture?
It could be. Because it does look cylindrical, like all the way here. And then this bit could be... She might have been stabbed by the pen rather than a knife. In fact, where is the knife? We haven't gotten a murder weapon. Now, I think personally this seems longer, you know? But where's the murder weapon? All we have is a pen.
Yeah. Yeah, if they literally caught her like this, there'd be a knife, surely.
Yeah, exactly. And if this photograph, to be honest, this is probably going to be explained in like the next, 2 minutes of discussion. But if this photograph was given, there's a different eyewitness that literally saw it happen, like right there, which they haven't quite, or maybe they have, but yeah.
And they handed in the photo and then said, "Don't ask me anything. I'm off."
The reporter probably was like, "I'll give you if you promise not to call me up as a witness or whatever." Yeah.
Yeah. Can't believe he's had a photograph like that up his sleeve all the entire time. Such a stark image. I'm genuinely lost for words.
Wait a minute. I don't understand. How did you... who took that photograph?
Ray?
That's of no importance here. Stop trying to divert attention. No, it's very important. Oh.
Objection!
That's an absurd thing to say. It's crucially important. Whoever took this photographic print was a witness to Miss Brett's death. The court must be allowed to hear this person's testimony.
Ah!
I will uphold the defense's demand. The prosecution will reveal the identity of the person responsible for taking this photograph at once.
Well, I'm afraid I can't do that.
Because it was you.
No,
Pardon?
we've made a deal. You see, this print arrived at the Imperial Police Bureau headquarters by express post yesterday.
Oh.
But there was nothing to indicate the sender's name or address. The provenance of the print is unknown.
Goodness. Are we to understand then, Counsel, that in full knowledge of the fact that this photograph has the murkiest of origins, you nevertheless... I hate that word.
Nevertheless...
Nevertheless, believe it fit for submission as evidence in the Supreme Court?
When you first produced that print before, I noticed that you hesitated for a brief moment. Because you knew that it wasn't completely reliable evidence, didn't you? Silence! You Yoko student and blabbering professor! What matters is the blatant truth that this print so eloquently expresses.
But the defendant has already admitted to pulling the blade from the wound. Clearly this isn't the moment that the knife was plunged into the victim's back, but...
The moment it was withdrawn? Don't waste this court's times with your ramblings.
Indeed, without knowledge of who produced this print, we have no means of verifying the claim. And the scene it captures is without a doubt the most compelling evidence presented to the court. If the defense is unable to shed any further light on the matter, I believe the conclusion is clear. Oh no.
Susato, this is the time for you to fight. If what you've established so far is true, then there can be no doubt. This photograph shows the moment that Ray withdrew the blade from the victim.
Yes, we just need to prove that somehow.
You'll have plenty of time to rue your defeat on the slow train back to the provinces. And to rue the day you came up against Takatsuchi Aochi in a court of law.
If I can't determine who took the photograph, then the trial is going to come to an end. There must be a clue somewhere. There must be some way of working out who took it. Well, Counsel? Your Excellency, the burning question is who took that photograph, and the truth is... I
have the answer. I mean, maybe, check court record. Check court record. Do we have any people? An E?
People.
There's no note of any reporter. If you click on Sasuke, this is Soseki. Doesn't mention a reporter or anything.
I'm wondering. Aha! Aha! The crack!
What? Ah!
The crack is here!
Yes!
So should
the
I
crack is there.
Send the... Oh no, I just have to say I know. I have the
Yeah.
answer. Whoever did the picture did the picture.
Yes!
Bam. This isn't about whether I can or can't come up with the answer now. I simply have to. The identity of the person who took this dramatic photographic print is, I assure you, something the defense can and will reveal.
What? No, you can't possibly. But as you so boldly claim that you can, please do enlighten us.
Unfortunately, I'm unable to present a name.
How utterly underwhelming. Did you really believe you could...
However, I am able to present evidence. The defense has a piece of evidence that reveals important details about the photographer's identity.
What?
Very well then, counsel. Present your proof to the court. Which piece of evidence do you claim reveals something about the identity of the mysterious photographer?
And then, yeah, the article. Bam!
What is that? The newspaper again? Raucous England returnees tell all. It's not the headline that's relevant here, Your Excellency. It's the photograph. If you look at it closely, you'll notice that there are some white lines on the right-hand side. Ah, yes, indeed. They had already caught my eye, as it happens.
What of it? A shadow of some kind, presumed? A shadow. Since when are shadows white, dumbass? Jesus. This guy. From the branches of a tree or the like. There are no trees growing inside my laboratory at the university, I can assure you. And particularly none of them that would give white shadows.
Now, if you look closely at this photograph... Good gracious! Yes, exactly the same pattern of lines is present on this photograph too.
Well, that tells us nothing. Yes, it's a shadow of some kind, definitely. From the branches of a tree.
There wouldn't be any trees growing inside a hut at the beach council.
Indeed.
What's quite remarkable about it is that the two patterns are absolutely identical. How could such an extraordinary similarity have transpired? The curious matching pattern that appears on both photographic prints is a result of a camera defect.
Some tree branches!
Got 'em!
Yeah.
Obviously, it must be due to a problem with the camera used to take the photographs.
With the photographic device? Yes, we can confidently say that the camera's lens must be scratched. And that the scratched lens causes unwanted lines to appear on every print taken with the device.
In short, the two photographs under consideration here were taken with the same camera.
We used to have a juror that was very into lenses and stuff,
Oh,
you know?
jeez.
Let's bring him back and he'll tell us all about it. But there must be hundreds of such camera devices here in the capital. It would be utterly impossible to identify the owner of this particular one.
Objection!
I think you're forgetting, Prosecutor Ouchie, that one of the photographs featured in a newspaper article.
A newspaper. Ah!
That's right. The author of that article is the mysterious
witness.
crime.
Honestly, if I say something and I realize I've read out the wrong word, but it still fits, I just roll with it. Many,
more.
What the fuck was that? That's his last name. His name is called Many Minnow. Many Moni. Testy Many Moni. We'll see what. Well, okay. I really want to know what his name is now. I see why you were called a ruckus. Yeah, okay.
A raucous England returnee.
What are you yelling about? You've already testified. It's Many Minnow. Many Memo. Many Memo. He takes a lot of memos. Many Memo. Me, mo.
Sasaki-san, what was that? Did you say many memo?
Ever since I returned to Japan, a reporter from the Shoyu News has been hounding me, following my every move. A reporter by the name of writing many memos.
Writing many memo.
Writing many memo. Yes, hounding me from dawn till dusk. The name. Writing many memo.
Now that he mentions it.
There he is. Writing many memo. Right there.
This guy. Could that same reporter be...
A camera to the left of him, a notebook to the right. Stuck in the middle, there I am, stuck in the middle. Writing many memo.
So you're saying that this picture was taken by...
By Many Memo, yes! My lord, your excellency, Esquire. Officer. That's you again, I'm sorry.
Find this newspaper reporter at once and bring him to my courtroom. But he was here like 5 minutes ago. We will adjourn for a sweet. Let's have some sweets.
We will adjourn for sweets.
I'm going to have hot chocolate and sweeties in the meantime.
Yes, you take what you want, but I want that.
Oh, yes, Your Excellency.
Excellency. As you say, Your Excellency.
And on one more thing.
Give me some sweeties.
Oh.
Oh, there we go.
murder weapon examined for traces of poison. Why have you
Now,
only just
why have
given
we-
us the
how
murder
have
weapon?
we not had the knife before?
Where has he kept it this
We
whole
just
time?
kept this around, not in the what the hell?
You will solicit the assistance of the Imperial University's medical department for the task. Understood?
Meh. Meh. He just says meh. Many memo.
Oh.
Many bright and many memo. Okay.
Right. Many memo. Did
To
you
be
wanna-
continued.
I was gonna ask if we could take a break here, because this is a good midway point, and then I actually have time to do a Mario Kart run.
Oh, I see. Kicking me out to do your Mario.
No, not at all. If you want to go, I'm happy to go because this is quite fun. But this is a logical end point, and we can continue again next week. So it's up to you what you want to do. I'll go if you want to go. Otherwise, I'll just do some racing and whatever. Okay. Okay. Cool.
Cool.
So this will be next week. We should be back to Fridays. Well, I guess it's hard to say back since the last Friday we did this was 2 months ago. But hopefully next starter streams will continue on Thursdays normally. We're just doing Friday this week, so they'll be swapping places next week. Everything should be fine. So yeah.
I just got a message through from Trot being like, "Can we watch the wrestling now, please?"
I see. So that's why
yeah.
you're done as well.
I'll be
Yeah.
off to watch Rampage.
Okay. Fantastic. Wow. You guys are so into it. You're watching all of it at once. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's great. As soon as it goes, Rampage literally came out last night, didn't it? So yeah, fair enough.
This is Rampage. Bum,
Yes.
Bum, bum. Nice.
Back to the title. Don't say we already saved.
Thunder saying, "Briony, do a Mario Kart run too." I don't have the courage.
You will at one point, but
I
not
will.
yet.
I might do one. Maybe I'll do one on Monday. I'll do a Mario Monday.
Mario Monday, yeah.
The thing I was mostly scared for was just not being like the live split thing. Just really
Yeah.
scared me.
Yeah.
But now I know how to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just you press a button every time you cross the finish line. Bam, you know?
Daff is giving Mario Kart a go tonight. Oh my
yeah,
God.
he is, yeah.
There's a
Everyone's doing it.
I wonder how many others are gonna. I keep saying to Kirsty that I think Kirsty might be doing one tomorrow. Actually,
Yeah.
Said
She should do
give
it too,
a
I think,
go.
yeah.
She's really good at Mario Kart. She is.
Oh, okay.
She'll be
Well,
a
she
real...
seems experienced. She keeps talking about Double Dash and stuff, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My, Sienna, one of my mods,
Yes.
she did one and she got 156. I think she's like,
Oh, it's a top 100 then.
under 100
Yeah.
in the
Very
world.
cool. Yeah.
So I'm very
That's
proud.
the
I
goal.
was saying she just needs to come to Bristol and play for me, and I'll pretend that I'm racing.
Cheats.
My
Yeah.
new strategy.
You just have it parsec open, and you're like, oh yeah, here we go.
I'm
You
just
know?
there. I was saying I'll be like Maggie Simpson, just like driving along, like woo.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
driving.
Yeah. Cool.
I
Well,
feel like she's like 87th in the world or something. It was a really
very
like
nice.
very very good.
Yeah, I mean that's the sort of difference of someone who is really, really good at it, and like us who come like, let's do Mario Kart. Okay, I guess, and we're all like starting out at like +2 hours, and then people are gradually improving, which is all of us
When is
gradually doing.
When is it gonna stop though? How long
don't
is this gonna go on for?
To be honest, like if I hit
Yeah.
sub 2, I'm pretty happy. I will be happy to move on to something else. That's my initial goal. That's what I want to do, really. But
I wanted to get sub 210, and then I want to beat myself, and then
Yeah.
after that, I'm gonna be like, I'm
Yeah.
good.
like the thing is, this is great fun, and it's fun because everyone is doing it. And
Yeah.
I was fine with leaving mine for a bit. Like I wanted to do another because I knew I could improve. But I was like, yeah, I'll do it when I can. And then Duncan came in like, be by 2 seconds, and I'm like, okay, bro, okay, we're doing this. So yeah.
It's like when I did mine, and it was when you and G were doing yours at the same
Yeah.
time. G was doing her second one, And as soon as I got like just a little bit under G, immediately someone in chat was like, "Oh, so your rival is G then?" I was like, "Do we have to have rivals now?"
Yeah, you have to have
I made
rivals.
an enemy on this day.
No, not enemy, just rival. You know, I think of it as like there's different tiers of racers, right? So far, like the top 3 are in their own tier because they've been like a 157 for a long time, and then for a while, like Bree was at mine and Duncan's tier, like it was like mid 2 something, right? But then Bree did a huge improvement, and he's down sub 2 now. But he's still he's still 2 minutes behind though. He's still 2 minutes behind like the tops, well, or 1.5 ish or whatever. So then that's tier 1. So then tier 2 is like me and Duncan, you know. We're at like just at like a bit mid, and then like tier 3 is like you and G and stuff, and then tier 4 is like Nilesy, you know, or whoever, like the 210 pluses, you know.
But S tier is Zoe.
Well, Zoe has the highest score as you go, but yeah. But, you know, everyone is climbing the tiers eventually. I have no doubt that Bree's going to get really close. And my goal is to, like, hit where Bree is right now before he moves on, you know? Like, because he's, I think, tonight, actually. He might have even started racing now, or he's going to wait maybe even later. He's going to go further down, I think. But, yeah, so I think it's fun. But, yeah, I'm not going to do this forever and ever and ever. Like, at a certain point, I'm like, I've hit the point where the improvements now starts being learning a bunch of skips, like the really tough one, and playing forever and ever so that I never barely make any mistakes at all, and so on. And at that point on, I'd be more excited starting something new, like let's speedrun Zelda Ocarina of Time or something. I don't, you know, like something like that.
I wouldn't want to get to a point where you're like 10 races in, you make him say, you're like, right, start over, sort of thing. I'm like, I'm powering through whatever happens.
Yeah, exactly. The closest I've started over was like 20 minutes in, and I was like, all right, fine, start over. But even that hurts. That hurts when you're that in. But like, yeah. That's the thing. Okay.
Nice.
This was super fun, Briony. I'm really glad we're doing this again. Like, we took a long break because of a variety of reasons, but it's really fun getting back to it. And I'm getting double Briony per week now, you know, this and Stardew. So that's going to be really fun.
Just got to start doing that podcast and have
at some point this podcast as well. Working title for that, by the way, is always off topic. We'll see if we stick with that or whatever. Find someone to make us a cute logo or whatever, and then just talk about stuff. It sounds good to me. I like it.
Mallard says, honestly, too much Briony.
Well, there's a lot of Briony in my life, to be fair. The only thing that like saves me is that you're not on Discord often enough, so I get to save up all my Briony time for like you know, very concentrated Briony during these stream spots. You know, it's like very.
That's why we accidentally talked for like an hour at the beginning, because I've not been on Discord.
You've not been on for like a long time, so it's like let me go, this is a long talk, you know. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice. Hope you guys enjoyed, everyone. I will be saving all of these videos on Twitch if you continuously. So if you do miss, the VODs will be there if you want to watch all of the first part of Ace Attorney, for example. Yeah, that's it. Tomorrow, Stardew. I am so excited. Stardew is so fun. Yeah. I'm really excited for it. Should be super fun.
I think I still have the notes.
Yeah, and then next week. Oh yeah, I've been like sorting out the mod list and stuff. I will post an updated list at some point for people to check and everything.
Nice.
Because there's a bunch. And then, so next week Stardew will be on the Thursday, and this will be on the Friday. Is the plan?
Cheeky switcheroo.
Little switcheroo.
I tried to buy, or at least look up, because my birthday's in a couple of months. So I thought, if I could find the Stardew board game, maybe I can. Like, hint to my mum. It's sold out everywhere, and then it turns out it's almost like £50 as well. And I thought I found it on Etsy, and it turned out for £46 you can buy a wooden inlay for the inside of the box to keep the pieces in place. And I was like, £46 just for the inlay.
That's
on top
half
of
the
£50. That's like
Jesus.
£100 for a board game at that.
Christ. No. That was really fun though. That game. That was really fun.
It was good. I would like to have it like roll up, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not
But
going to buy
you're not going to fork out like. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It did look
okay.
very cute.
Yeah.
So that's the plan next week, and obviously starting tomorrow. Please look forward to it. Let's get to say in Japan. Please look forward to it. It's gonna be great fun. So catch us both then. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Well, enjoy your Mario Kart
I'm
run.
gonna go
I hope
Mario
you get
Kart.
3 seconds speedier.
Yeah, that's the plan. I don't want to split too much because well, actually, I do. I would love to get so sub too, but I want to at least beat Duncan. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll fail. That'll be funny also, because I probably won't have time for 2 races today. So it's just going to be the 1 race, and we're going to have to go pretty much straight into it. So
You can do it, I believe.
thank you. That's very kind of you. Thanks, Briony, as always, for the stream. That was lovely. I will see you tomorrow. Enjoy your wrestling.
Thank you. Enjoy your cotton.
Yeah, I will. That's the plan. I'm gonna disconnect you from Parsec.
Kick him mute.
Bam. Kick! You've been kicked.
Wow.
There you go. Wah. Have a good time, Briony.
You too.
And
Bye-bye
I'll see
for
you when I
now.
see you. Bye.
Bye-bye.